Hey, how you doing, everyone? My name is Michael, the chairman, and welcome to the Chairman of the Board podcast. My guest today is for our second episode, Ethan Frice, the creator of SeptaSync. Thanks for joining me today, Ethan.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So a lot's happened since our last podcast. Literally, like all the conspiracies we talked about have come true. Pretty much, literally all of them, except
It's a horrible
flat
feeling.
Earth. Yeah, it is a horrible feel for these ones. Like it's literally, it's a bad thing to be right about all the Epstein Files and shit. But I want to have you back. We'll get into that a little bit later and all that insane shit. But I want to have you on because you're telling me you have a lot of updates about SeptaSync since our last episode, and it's just been really incredible to see you take that idea. For those of you who don't know Ethan, he started a channel on TikTok and stuff, and kind of blew up diving into the gateway tapes from the Monroe Institute and manifestation and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of spiritual CIA declassified kind of insane stories and stuff like that. And then you kind of got into, while trying the gateway tapes, SeptaSync, this new technology you invented, came to you in a dream. It's kind of a wild story we talked about in our last podcast if you want to check that out. But basically, it's a technology that affects your brain waves and calms you down. And so, yeah, Ethan, maybe give a brief overview of what SeptaSync is for those of you who haven't seen it yet, and give us an update on how everything's going.
Yeah, so Septasync, it's just a sound. It's taking advantage of an auditory illusion, very similar to an optical illusion will mess with your eyes. Auditory illusions can change your brainwaves. So we structured a ton of auditory illusions to emulate the same brainwave state as sleep. So while your body falls asleep, your brain is being stimulated by these frequencies. Your brain will stay awake, your body falls asleep. We like to call it sleepless rest.
Sleepless
And it's
rest.
just a sound you listen to.
So you always talk about it's literally like you're dreaming while you're awake, essentially. It puts you in what brainwave state? Is it gamma?
It puts people in a high delta and a high theta brainwave state, which is like a dreamy slash like deep sleep.
Okay, nice. And then, so with that technology now, that a lot of you kind of started on the internet, right? Where people could buy it for like $5, download it, try it, and it went viral all over the internet. Like it was really cool to see. Like you just started from kind of nothing and built that whole thing, and it's just kind of everywhere now. So yeah, what's that next step that you took after it went viral on the internet?
So the next step I took after it went viral was seeking medical validation immediately. I really believe that sound or frequency is a more efficient language to talk to the brain. For example, when you want to go to sleep, you close your eyes, you turn off the lights, you put yourself under the covers to signal to your brain that I'm ready to sleep. Your brain does not usually listen. Sound seems like a better way for that to work, and it has absolutely no medical validation. So I started taking it to health conferences, meeting doctors, having as many people try it as I can. Since then, we've had tons of EEG scans. A doctor is now one of my business partners, so he owns part of the company. He's been instrumentally successful with helping me get anything medically related done, which has been very cool. And we have this study going on in the hospital right now, but that will take probably years.
That's really awesome to actually have a real doctor as like your business partner, going from like this came to me in a dream and like putting it online, like, oh, it's like really helping people. And then be like, hey, like going to conferences and taking that next step, and then like actually getting a real doctor. So what kind of doctor is he?
He's just like a general ER doctor. He's local to where I live. He runs one of the hospitals. He's very high up,
Oh, nice.
but
Like he
he's
literally
super,
runs a
super
hospital.
good guy.
And
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of ER doctors, so that's pretty cool. They've had a
He's,
lot of
he's a
experience.
super cool guy. He's really about humanitarianism and just helping people. So he has a nonprofit here in my town that gives out free healthcare to people without insurance. Just really good guy to be in business with. He's always about helping people. That's what I like to do too. So we really synergize in that point.
That's awesome. Because I know like last time we talked about your work with taking SeptaSync profits or a part of them and like doing stuff with soup kitchens and all that stuff. How's that going?
Yeah, we're still donating. That'll
Oh,
never
nice.
stop.
That's
10%
cool.
every month.
That's awesome, dude. And so I was going to ask you too, like, so you've done hospital studies, right?
Yeah, they're going in the process.
They're in the process right now, and you're not talking about them yet, right?
No, I don't have anything actionable to talk about.
Okay.
They have to
But
read the
you've done,
data. There's a lot
but
to it.
okay. And you have data though from the EEG readouts? Oh, is that
Yeah,
what you
and I
found?
have my own EEG as well. It lives in my apartment.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw you talking about like how you'd EEG your friends and stuff, trying it out.
Yeah, it's the best way to test the variance and the different versions of SeptaSync I'm making when I try to make a tweak to achieve a different brainwave state. I just drive to my friend's house and I'll put an EEG on him, test him right then and there. I'll do that like 5 or 6 times, and if I get repeatable results through different people, I know I have something that seems solid.
So how much are you tweaking the tapes right now? Like, are they,
A lot,
oh, a lot. Okay. So you've done a lot of work
a
on them.
ton. So
Okay.
with SeptaSync is staying the same, and we're making additions. So I think of SeptaSync like a bed sheet, and it's like adding another blanket onto your bed. The hard part is there's so many frequencies, they start to conflict. The sound waves will hit each other and cause oscillations and all kinds of non-desirable things. But we're finding ways to add frequencies in using like technology from like old radios and stuff, like amplitude modulation. Very, very cool, like simple things that are making a huge difference on our SeptaSync EEGs. Massive differences. We're seeing, like, I did a scan of my friend's wife recently, and her scan looked closer to an EEG of someone being put under anesthesia than
Hmm.
anything else. And that was what my business partner, the doctor, told me. He was like, "This is incredible. It's looking like propofol. Like right when people lose consciousness, it's mimicking that very closely. Of course, with its own differences later on.
Do you know why it works the way it works yet?
Not quite. I have my theories. I I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's cool though that it's having that effect and like it's a measurable effect that doctors have like verified. Are they
Yeah, it's
so? Are you studying like different uses for like athletes or in surgeries or like different potential cases for it?
yeah. So we're really excited to get into the athletic world. We're just starting outreach to like bigger teams and just trying to have someone try this for free. The way I see it is athletics is such a mental game. And if you have something like SeptaSync that can put someone into a sleep kind of state and bring them back very quickly, imagine you chase personal like physical mastery in your sport, and then you show up with an unhealthy mindset. If you
Mm.
could turn your brain on and off like a computer, you might come back in the swing of things. And those little things make a huge difference. Like if someone's in the World Series and it's the last 5 pitches and they're feeling funky, if they could listen
Mm.
to this for 10 minutes with a chance to feel better, I can't think of a team who wouldn't buy it for that shot.
So it's kind of like a good version of MK Ultra, right? Like instead
Yes,
of
I
going
would.
into a state of wanting to kill someone, you go into like an extreme state of rest and like recharging your mind and ready to like, go and get things done.
Exactly. I was just explaining this at dinner last night to my friend's mom. The CIA did some really horrible stuff with some really neat science, so I just took what they did, made it better, and I'm trying to use it for good only.
Yeah, honestly, I've always thought that my whole life. Like, they're doing all this terrible, evil shit with like real science. Imagine if those people were good people and using it for the right reasons. Like, I know there's that one comic where Doctor Doom like is an actual good person and decided to do all the right things for Earth and made it a utopia. Like, that's totally possible here. These, evil entities. I don't. They might not even be fucking human at this point. They're eating
I
babies,
wouldn't be
like shit.
surprised. I
Like
would not be surprised
they
one
could
bit. It's
totally
gotten
be
so
lizard
weird. I don't
people,
even know.
100%. Like Jeffrey Epstein, one of the victims said she saw him like turn into a lizard.
Turn into a
You see that?
lizard.
Yeah,
I saw that.
you saw that, right?
I
It's
saw
so
that, and
it's
I was sitting there like I wouldn't even be surprised. Like the world is just so weird. I don't think lizards are walking around as people, but it truly wouldn't surprise me one bit. Like this doesn't feel like real life. Our government's eating people, and I mean it's shocking. I've known this stuff for like 2 years, and I'm still shocked that it's all true. Like I can't wrap my head around that fully.
I know, dude. Imagine like knowing about it for 20 years. I've seen people like I know I had my spiritual awakening starting in like 2018 and really amped up in 2021. and you said you started a little more recently, but like imagine waking up in like 2001 after 9/11. I saw a lot of people saying like after 9/11 happened, my whole spiritual thing started, and I realized like, I went down all the rabbit holes, and I've known about this forever. And seeing people wake up now is just insane. And I've been right about everything. Like, dude, that would have been fucking hell. Trying to tell people around you about Epstein's Island before 2018 or 2019 when all that shit went down. You would have been
What was the guy,
ostracized
Alex
completely.
Jones?
Yeah, pretty much Alex
was
Jones.
doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Man, everyone knew who he was and had the consensus he was crazy, and that guy was right about so much. I think he did lose his marbles, but that might be our fault at
Yeah.
this point as a
He might have been
population.
threatened and now is like controlled opposition. Or he could have always been, but like now he's really, he's still supporting Trump after all the files came out and all that stuff. And I'm like, bro, that's a problem. Like, that's not good.
That's fishy.
Yeah.
That's so
Not
fishy.
good. But they
That's
also
weird.
did find him over $1 billion, right, for the Sandy Hook thing, which was like a big mistake if it really was a mistake. But maybe they threatened his family, or who fucking knows. At this point, they're fucking sacrificing babies to Baal and Moloch. So who knows what they did to him? They could have MK Ultra'd him. He could have been a good person.
And I don't
if they
think it would
MK'd
be
him.
that hard. I mean, I made SeptaSync in my parents' guest room. If I could do that, I'm sure they got some crazy sounds that make you feel horrible. I tried to make a reverse SeptaSync once, and it was not a good experience. I won't touch on that too much, but
Huh.
the technology is like it's there. I know they have it. They've had it for so long. They don't care that it's in the private sector anymore.
Well, like the most
lock
powerful
these things
technology
down.
has got to be frequency, right? Because you're manipulating the very foundations of existence. Like everything's energy, frequency, and vibration, like Tesla talked about.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're affecting literally everything when you're messing with that stuff. So, do you ever worry like about messing with all this stuff that the government's
Yeah.
like? You do. Yeah.
Well, less about the government and more about people. Just because I don't know what SeptaSync does. Like one effect we've noticed on a lot of people, and it doesn't seem to be negative, and there's a science explanation behind this. There's a scientific explanation. People become spiritual or very like zened out, if that makes sense. And it happens a lot. Like people who listen to SeptaSync over and over start changing. I have people email me. One of the doctors we work with, not my business partner, but one of the ones we work with, he's become very spiritual in the last couple months, and he even accredits it to SeptaSync, not as a bad thing at all. And what's happening, I think, internally is your brain has something called the default mode network. It's like where your ego is housed. It's basically the portion of the brain that makes you you. When certain things happen, like getting really relaxed, your nervous system downregulates, your DMN, your default mode network, just starts turning off. It starts getting really, really quiet. Your ego will dissolve with that, similar to when people take psychedelics. And when your default mode network is quiet, you become very reflective and happier and more content. So I think it's just making people more relaxed, and therefore they're changing. They're becoming more happier, and they're making steps to do better. Like the amount of people who listen to SeptaSync and start doing yoga, it's a correlation. It's a huge overlap. I don't understand it at all.
I mean, I remember when I did first start using it, I saw a huge improvement like right away. Honestly, I should be using it more because like I've been so fucking stressed out with shit going on, and also like I was telling you before the podcast, like being handicapped is just so fucking hard all the time. Like even just getting ready for a podcast and getting dressed in a wheelchair and shit. Like, yeah, having a dysregulated nervous system and having all that stress really like gets to you. So I'm definitely gonna try it too, even though I'm like already spiritual. And I think what it might be doing is removing, like what you're describing, blockages in our brain that's keeping us from remembering who we truly are outside of this like matrix simulation. And I wonder if there's frequency technologies being used against us to suppress us and our psychic abilities and stuff that's keeping us more dull and less spiritual. And SeptaSync is helping us kind of achieve that heightened spiritual brainwave state again.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in that spiritual brainwave state. It's the concentration of like your theta brainwaves, a very high theta dominating over any other brainwave, puts you into a very spiritual place. It's what monks chase for decades.
Mhm.
That stuff's just so bizarre. Like you're talking about, frequencies and all this stuff. They say, like, for example, the human spirituality and like the abilities that have been told in myth throughout the world, they all come from the brain's eye, the pineal gland.
Right.
Toothpaste, the main like component in toothpaste, it makes it like calcify. You can see it
Fluoride.
on X-rays and MRIs. Like the text will use a pineal gland as a roadmap, like sorry, not a roadmap. When you're driving and you see a landmark, they use it as a landmark in the brain because it's calcified, so it shows up bright white.
Right.
And that's
And it's all the
very
fluoride in the
interesting.
toothpaste and the water. And Alex Jones talked about that for a long time too. I know we've
Fluoride
been.
makes kids, it lowers their IQ. That's been so proven. There's no reason we should be drinking it.
Well, it's with so many things, but it's like we realize there's literally a fucking cult running the entire world that's invested in hurting us. So it's so weird to live in that reality, knowing that now that like on every angle they're poisoning us, they're suppressing us, and it's just I'm always wondering like where are the Avengers? Where's this reality's Avengers? Is it just all the evil people like Bill? It's just Bill Gates up there, Where's like
It's
the good forces?
the
I
good
guess
people
it may
always
be
get
you.
hit down
It
so
may be you
hard.
and maybe me, right? Like coming up right now, inventing technologies like this. I'm always trying to have people on to amplify people who are doing good in the world and like say the truth no matter what. It might be people like us rising up right now.
I mean, I hope there's a lot of people that want to see the world do better. It scares me a lot. Like half of the people I know didn't care that much about the Epstein stuff because it wasn't happening to them. And I was sitting there
Dude,
like,
yes,
you
I
guys are
know.
part of the problem. Like
Yeah.
like you have no regard for your fellow human. It blows my mind.
My uncle told me that last Thanksgiving, he told me that he was an elite and we need people like Peter Thiel and Alex Karp and Trump and all of them to do what they're doing to push humanity forward, even if they're doing the Epstein stuff. And then he called himself an elite after that. He's like, I'm one
Ooh,
of them. I'm like, what are you up to, bro? Like, that's the kind of
where's your
people I was
private
talking about.
jets?
I know, like, man, it's so scary, that kind of mentality. And I was at a birthday party for a family member recently, and I brought up to all my cousins and stuff, like, hey, we're in World War III. They're like, I don't like to think about it. I'm like, yeah, but it literally affects you. And they're like, one of my cousins was like, oh, I'll let my husband worry about it for me. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna fucking save you. Like, what? But
Well,
you don't want to
ignorance
talk
can't be
about it. You want to.
bliss.
They're talking about grocery shopping and drama, and I'm like, do you know how much shit there's going on right now? It's affecting you personally. I don't understand because for a long time they'd say, "Well, it's not affecting my life, so I don't care," which is like evil. Like
Yeah,
it's fucking evil.
100%.
And now they're just like, I don't want to think about it. I'll let someone else worry about it for me. It's just
Ignorance can't be
insane.
bliss for that long. Like it
I know, and even so, like it's just completely devoid of all empathy. I mean, I can't. I'm at the point myself. I mean, I'm sound. You're obviously empath too. Like we from talking to each other, and like I just can't be around people like that anymore. I really hit a. I think I've seen a lot of empaths talking about this, and pretty much to be spiritually awakened, you have to be an empath at this point. I think there really is like a divide in the world from good versus evil, and people who are choosing to be willfully ignorant and or just being like, yeah, let them do it. Who cares? It's not affecting me right now. That's evil. Like letting that shit. That is consent. Like I see what people have meant for so long. Like, oh, they tell us in movies and whatever, so they bypass karmic law. And I was like, I don't really fully understand that. I don't. They're still guilty. How does that bypass karmic law? But I kind of get it now. Like these, a lot of people are just allowing it to happen. Like evil persists if good people do nothing about it.
It's called Carnelian law, I think. It's from Satanism,
Really.
which is kind of scary. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it's Carnelian law. If you tell someone their apples are poisoned and they still buy it, it's the blame
Right.
is on the consumer.
Yeah, I heard that exactly. Yeah, it's
It's
just so
crazy.
it's so fucked up, man. It's so fucked
You
up.
ever heard of Terence McKenna?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that guy, I was watching a video, he popped up on my reels, a video of him in like the 70s or the 80s. He's talking about he took a ton of mushrooms and the mushrooms told him that the world was going to get super, super weird
It's just
and it
gonna
would
keep
keep
getting
getting so
weirder
weird.
and weirder until we have to talk about how weird it's getting. Yeah.
That happened last night. I was at my friend's house and I was explaining to her mom all of this stuff because her mom's like really new to the conspiracy, not even conspiracy anymore, but new to this world we're in.
Reality that's been hidden from us. Yeah.
And she was like panicking almost, and I was trying to tell her like, you know, it's okay. I'm only calm because I've known about this for so long. But we were
Mm.
all sitting there like just saying we can't believe this is real. Like, how is this real life? This feels like a messed up episode of Black Mirror.
But that's the thing. That's why it's in all the media is like they tell us the truth in movies. Like all that stuff that we think is science fiction is true. Like what we're discovering about our psychic abilities that you're personally involved with and are seeing all the, feedback you're getting from SeptaSync. Like we are being suppressed. Even just you take the one thing about fluoride to calcify our pineal gland, which is, access to our third eye, all our spiritual abilities. Like that is spiritual warfare against us.
Well,
Like
and it
we
would make sense that
are,
there's a big fall from religion too, and that probably has a huge part to do with the spiritual center of the brain that it's believed to be is clogged with calcium.
mhm.
um, like a rock. It makes sense on the science end and the woo-woo end, which I find so interesting. Not many things can do that.
Well, right. Like all the woo woo stuff is just like science that hasn't been explained yet, right? Like it hasn't been
In a
explained
lot of
through
ways,
science.
yeah.
Like
I
eventually, I think all woo woo stuff, like if we live in an infinitely expanding universe, anything would be possible in some dimensions or some. So eventually, science will have to catch up to all the, like even in the Epstein files, they talked about, just like in the X-Men, they would torture children to access their psychic abilities. You see that in the files?
no, but I've seen that in X-Men.
Right. That's in
I
the
had to think about
files.
that. I had to rack my brain from when I was a kid reading comics.
Mhm. They're doing that actively. Like they're doing Magneto shit right now where they like killed his mom and in front of him and they're doing
Oh,
that kind of
I
stuff.
did see that in the files. He was talking about like essaying women to help them their abilities come
Yeah.
out.
Just
Epstein was
casually
so
talking about
interested.
raping women and children just to like,
He
oh,
was
I
so
really got their
interested.
abilities to come out.
He was really into out of body experiences too, which I found that bizarre. There's a scientific explanation for those two, but we don't really understand it. It's like half woo woo and half not. We can reproduce it, but we don't know why it happens. And he was very
Right.
interested in that stuff. And
Mhm.
now he did all
I mean,
kinds
he
of
was surrounded
crazy.
by scientists. I know a big
Yeah,
one
he killed
and doctors
Mike
and
Pond. He said the guy that was working on cold fusion.
what was his
Did you
name?
see that? Mike
Mm.
Pons. I can Google it right now. Yeah, he says this guy named Mike Pons was working on cold fusion in one of the emails, and he replies and goes, "Oh, I killed that guy years ago." Sent it from a BlackBerry, and it's like, dog, that's crazy.
I know, man. They just do so much evil shit so casually. It's because they've been doing it for so long, and that's part of the ritual stuff, right? Is like once you make a normal person do some evil act so heinous that everything they do after that is like nothing because it's been normalized. So all these people have been doing evil shit for so long. It's just fucking normal to them. And I mean,
Yeah,
you look at
and
all these award shows and stuff too with these celebrities. Like, I mean, it's literally like they're fully dressed as devils and demons and like evil entities. They're not even hiding it, and people are
no, they don't hide it
cheering.
at
And
all. Have you
yeah,
looked into the theology behind Moloch or Baal, the stuff mentioned in the Epstein
I
files?
well, I know his bank account was literally called Ball. You see that?
Baal, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I know
crazy.
Moloch was like the god of child sacrifice, right?
Yeah, so they're the same entity for the most part. Baal just means Lord in Aramaic, I think, some old
Right, which
language.
is in the Bible. I'm like, people don't know. Like when they're saying, Lord help me, all this, they're saying Baal. They're praying to Baal. When Lord's in the Bible, I'm like,
Well,
I don't know.
it it was a descriptive word. So like it was like how do I word it? Well, you could call God God or you could call him Lord, and it was interchangeable between the two different groups. Their beliefs are insane. Like the Moloch stuff is crazy. I've looked into this a lot. It goes all the way back to like the Freemasons. Well, it goes deep, way further back than that, but it really picked up prominence in social circles during the Freemasons, like the Crusades. The Knights Templar, the story goes they met like a being in a cave that gave them all this knowledge on like child sacrifice and how to break the universe. You know, all these different metaphysical claims. A ton of them got like executed by the church. They scattered and started Freemasonry, and a lot of it falls back to the builder of the temple in like ancient Jerusalem. So like Canaanite stuff. It's
Right.
really interesting.
Right.
And
And
it makes sense.
Canaanite
Freemasons,
is where
builders.
they got the word cannibal, right? Because the
I don't know.
Canaanites were eating babies
Oh,
and eating human beings,
that
and it
makes
turned into
sense.
cannibal. Yeah.
That makes so much sense, and I'm not surprised it's from the same group.
hmm
It's always
Have you
the
seen
same
that
group.
Professor? I don't know. He's Chinese or something. He went to Yale.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him
Yeah,
on my feed before.
yeah. He's blowing up right now. He's talking and explaining all the history behind all that shit going on in World War III, and he's using game theory to explain everything that's going on right now. And even in Star Trek, you see in Star Trek, World War III starts in 2026.
No way.
Yeah, it does.
Uh, I know. I
It's,
went and bought a ton of food and water, like canned food, just in case. My grandpa was like a government agent, so he always told me if anything starts happening, just go buy like 8 days of food and water.
mm.
So I woke up and I saw like Israel getting like just clapped by missiles. I like smiled and then I went to the store.
Well, here's the thing. Like, do they want to get clapped? Because I know Albert Pike, who is like the Grand Master, top Freemason, talked about had the plan for the three world wars, and the other two went according to plan, exactly like he wrote in the 1800s or whatever. And the third one is he's trying to get the Arab world to go to war with the Jewish world, essentially, and have them destroy each other and then establish like a one world religion and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's going according to plan. And Trump, they're
Sounds
positioning
like the
Trump now.
Antichrist in the Bible, like the
I
one
know.
world religion and the unifier.
Yeah. Well, they're basically scripting the Book of Revelations right now on purpose, which I don't know if you've ever looked into Chris Bledsoe at all. You ever look at him?
Yes,
Right.
I was talking about him last night.
Okay, yeah. We're on the same wavelength with all this shit, man. And I was actually trying to get him on the podcast. We'll see if he'll come on. But so you know about his prediction for in April of Easter this year that the lady will come
Disclosure,
back.
right?
Yeah, like catastrophic disclosure will happen, and it could be the second coming of Christ or some version of that, or angels coming back finally help us, because they're going to start to use nukes, and if they do, that these beings will stop it apparently. But he always said too that they are actually scripting the Book of Revelations on purpose, and that the good force that he had contact with is well aware of what they're doing, and no matter what, they're going to lose because they can't stop what's going to happen. So, but they're still, like when you're playing chess, like even if you know you're going to lose, you're still using all your pieces to see what you can do, right? But
Yeah,
apparently
you
they've
see if
already
you can pull
lost.
something together. The other side
Yeah.
makes a mistake.
hmm
It's crazy stuff. It's absolutely crazy stuff.
I don't know how
What else was
schizophrenic
in
this
his
all
prediction?
sounds
Tell
to
me more
anyone
about
new
that.
watching this. Yeah, we're going all over the place, but that's
Oh
how a
yeah.
lot of conversations go. Because there's so much shit going on, and we're both like neurodivergent, so we're like all over the place. But it's just there's so much shit going on, and I think they want it that way too, right? Because like they can normalize stuff so much easier, and you can't if there's too many things happening at once. It's hard to focus on what's going on, and then you're also like just overwhelmed by everything. And then a lot of people just give up too. That's why a lot of people are like, I can't do it, man. I'm burned out, and they want us burned out and defeated.
Do you think they're going back to what you said about the scripting the Book of Revelations? A lot of the stuff in the book, like natural events, are happening too. Like the river Euphrates is drying.
I saw that. And
That might be.
doesn't it kind of look like a sideways omega symbol? I realize I haven't heard anyone say that before, but I was looking at it, I'm like, that looks like an omega symbol,
I
which
haven't
means
looked
the
at it from
end.
like a map.
If I think I'm speaking about the right river.
I'm looking at it from the top down. No, I think you're thinking of a different one, or
Oh,
I'm looking
okay.
at the wrong picture. Yeah,
I didn't
it's
actually see like a physical picture. It was like a map of it or something.
oh yeah, I just saw that. Okay, it
Does it look
was
like that?
shown like a slideshow on Google. Yeah, it had a whole like thing
Like the
going.
art, kind of like the arch. Yeah.
It's interesting stuff. Me and my buddy were talking about the whole, are they scripting this or is it happening?
Mhm.
We had that conversation like a month or two ago. I used to be a Christian and he's a Muslim, so we were comparing like the different theologies and how they're very similar religions. Like most people don't understand that. So the end times part is very similar too. One second. Sorry, I got a phone call. I did that plug
That's
up
right.
the audio?
No, you're good.
It okay, so it's just bizarre. Across the Quran and the Bible, like the end times prophecies are unfolding, and they give very different markers, and very different descriptors. Like, and they're both the marks are being hit, and a lot of them are like have to do with people as a whole, the state of the world, not stuff so specific like a river drying up. I just
Mm.
find it interesting. In the Quran, I believe this might be the Bible, so don't quote me. At the River Euphrates, when it dries, they're going to find a ton of gold, and it's just going to be like a bloodbath war. And that's what's supposed to kick
Huh.
off everything, like really just dumping.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's
I
interesting
mean,
theology, but the river's drying up. That's never happened before.
I think what's happening is it is a real there's a real change spiritually. Like I think what a lot of spiritual people talk about, like the new Earth thing, and like Earth is ascending vibrationally, energetically, and I think that is a real event that's taking place in like a cycle. We're finally at that cycle, and I think they're scripting the Book of Revelations, even though it's like a real event happening. They're scripting it so they can keep one hand on the steering wheel, so they can try and change the narrative or control the narrative and take as many people with them, whatever their plan is, as they can. So I think it's both. I think they're scripting it as well as it's truly happening, so they can control a narrative. And I'm sure they're going to do. Let's say the Chris Bledsoe thing happens, right, and real angels come back or something. I'm sure they have Project Bluebeam lined up so they can have a bad event happen. Say, oh look, they're evil and try and trick people and deceive
Yeah,
people.
they
And
just blew up the World Trade Center. We'll say some crazy shit like that.
right, they're masters of deception. I mean, I look at Donald Trump and literally everything that he accuses other people of doing is really a confession. Like every
Yeah,
accusation
that's
is a
that's
confession.
that's in the Quran in the end times. It talks about every accusation will become a confession.
Really?
That's funny you just said
That's
that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I fucking noticed. Because this world has been inverted for so long. Like up is down and down is up. And that's how they fucking operate. And then they gaslight you over and over again. But I noticed that is the spirit of narcissism. I have a lot of narcissists in my family, and I'm the only one. I'm sure you've heard of like being the black sheep and all that stuff and the empath, whatever. And I'm the only one who I have like an extreme sense of justice and telling the truth, and like it's an over amount. I can't stand lying. And so I'll always speak up when someone's lying or manipulating or gaslighting other people in the family. And they'll always attack me and shit. And I've just noticed the patterns of narcissists. And I truly believe it's the spirit of evil, because it's the inversion of truth. And I think any inversion of truth is a form of evil. And that's because they're stealing your reality from you. They're stealing really your life force from you. Essentially, they're
I think of
vampires.
them like energy parasites. Yeah.
They're parasites. They really are fucking parasites. And if Earth really is ascending it to a higher energetic frequency, which all about frequencies, just like Venom, right, in Spider-Man, right, the church bell in Spider-Man 3, like
Oh yeah, and he's
they
like,
can't,
"Wow."
yeah, right, and Venom was a parasite. So I think that these parasites, whatever they are, whether they're real people possessed by a demonic force or It's amazing we're literally at this level talking about it as fact. Like we're literally
I
at
was
this
just
point.
thinking, I'm like, this might not resonate with everyone in the audience, and then I had to remind myself, like, the world we're living in. I
It's
was like,
true. It's the
never
fucking
mind. This
truth.
is all,
Like,
yeah, this
yeah,
is all on the table now. I can't believe it. I'm so used
uh,
to filtering myself down when I have these
I
conversations.
know. Me too. Me too. I don't really even do it anymore. I don't care. I even with strangers, I'm like, yeah, you see this shit in the Epstein files. No, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's people just don't.
Let me ruin your
Let,
day real quick.
let me
Like,
ruin your day. Oh, you didn't hear about World War III yet today? No, what are you talking about? World War III? I'm like, yeah, we're in World War III right now. Oh,
and it's crazy. We can watch a war from our phones. That
I
just
know, just
blows my
scrolling
mind.
through memes and then death and war and pedophilia, and it's just insane. It's and look, I mean, literally, we're on a phone scrolling, just like it's brainwashing us. It is like a black. I mean, it's literally a Black Mirror episode. We're like brainwashing ourselves while we're also being informed, because like we're aware. I'm sure they're. That's the thing. CIA has like a meme department. They are working
Mhm.
on manipulating us through memes. I had a comedian on my last podcast, and I was like, "Do you worry like that they're manipulating?" The shittiest part is like we were talking about how we use comedy to lower people's defenses, to unify people, right? To get them past the egoic, we're on this team or that team, and be like, hey, we can all laugh at this because we can all agree this shit is insane and shouldn't be happening. But they're weaponizing that good use of comedy through memes and stuff to get us to say like, oh, Epstein is aura maxing, he's cool. Have you seen
Oh,
that shit?
no. I'd get so pissed if I saw that though. You
Yeah,
can't make light out of that stuff. People will just get happy joking about it. Like Epstein didn't kill himself. That was probably a psyop too. You know that I bet that
probably.
was a psyop because that just dictates that sentence dictates that he died. I don't even think he
Exactly,
like
right.
you got to think about these things so deep to even get halfway on the level that these guys are at. They plan this stuff 30 years ahead
A hundred
or more.
percent. He's totally fucking alive. He's totally alive. And all that shit about cloning, and he had his own like cloning facility too, and his own was it like Zorro Ranch or whatever, where he was doing all that
In New
shit.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, in New Mexico, and trying to spread. I heard his DNA was in the COVID shots too. You hear about that?
No, man. I got that
Yeah,
shot.
you
I had to
did.
for my job.
Damn, I didn't.
Man, I wonder, I got like a nervous system disorder. I wonder if it was from that. Everyone I know that is
Probably.
like so tired all the time now. Have you been noticing that?
Yes, but I didn't get it, and I'm tired all the time too. I think that has to do
Okay,
with,
maybe it's
they call it ascension symptoms and all that stuff. And I think it's that. I think it genuinely is a thing for those of us on that path. And to those of you who don't know what we're talking about, like, yeah, it sounds crazy. It's fucking true. Look into it. It's my literal life experience. Like all that stuff I think is happening. But I think they are using frequency weapons against us. Like the 5G, all the people like, oh, I'm wearing my tinfoil hat. 5G is affecting us, and they were all crazy. I don't think they're crazy. They're definitely they're using frequency weapons against us, as well
well,
as
I mean, they
poisoning our
have them.
food more and more and shit like that.
They use frequency weapons against protesters, or they used I think it was radio, not frequency, but they used this weapon in Venezuela that made everyone's heads feel like they were exploding. They're
That's
bleeding
right.
out their noses and ears.
Yeah.
Um,
And there was
we've
that
had
whole
that stuff
Havana
for so
syndrome thing
long.
too.
Have you seen the videos of them using the directed energy, like the frequency beam, on a protest?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
There's like a couple hundred people just in the street, and you just hear like a sounds like a generator turning on, just like boom, and then the whole street just boom, like clears so fast. People are
Mhm.
running and
Oh,
covering
I
their
did see
ears.
that video. Yes, I did see that video.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's so scary. They've had that stuff since the 80s, I
I
bet,
was just gonna say
or
they've had that shit for a long
earlier.
time. It's probably old tech now, right?
Yeah, that's why we're
Same with
seeing it.
AI. Like the AI we have now, there's no way that this is all like new and evolving and stuff. They've definitely had this shit forever. And I'm sure that's what like Project Looking Glass was, right? Is they had really advanced, probably somewhat conscious AI looking into the future through probability fields, and apparently they lose every time, right?
A ton of I don't know where I saw this, so don't quote me, but no, actually, I'm not even gonna bring that up. That
Okay.
might be like a I don't want to get your podcast like banned, but I'll tell you about it after.
You think it'll get it
It's like the
banned? Really?
politician thing from last episode. You just can't talk about it online.
Oh, all right. Okay. But yeah. Anyways, so what kind of messages and feedback have you been getting from people using SeptaSync? We'll
Oh,
hop
that's a
right into
huge
that.
change.
Yeah, huge
They,
tangent.
they get spiritual, like I was saying, and that's definitely an interesting effect. The main consensus is that it kind of just feels good. People say they can feel their brain a lot, which is a weird descriptor. Other than that, though, I think it has some really good uses with stuff like PTSD. I have quite a few people who have reached out with testimonials saying it's been like instrumental for them, and I really think that just goes back to it makes you feel more spiritual and then you feel good.
I was
It has
looking.
to do. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I was looking at your comments and stuff, and I messaged a couple people who would use SeptaSync a lot, and they wanted me to ask you if you're gonna ever add like guided meditation sections, and someone wanted me to ask if you were ever gonna add a manifestation section, even though it's not strictly
Um,
for that. If you could add a section, like to guide people for that while using it.
like guide them towards manifesting specifically.
Yeah, because I know, like, in the original tape that I used, you had that woman talking to kind of guide them for instructions, and they were wondering
Yeah,
if you
yeah, I
have
could
like
do
a
something like
guided
that.
version of that.
I think visualizing what you want is like the most important thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Septasync's a visual experience for a lot of people, so I will most definitely get that done.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then
was
I'll
gonna
have to
ask
send
you
you some of
too.
these variants to try. They're very cool.
Yeah, send them over. I'll try them all. I was gonna ask you too. I know a lot of people with aphantasia, right, where you can't picture and visualize stuff, because you're just talking about like how SeptaSync's very visual. I know it cured aphantasia in a lot of people that were trying it. Any updates with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I can't say that word because we're not FDA approved for it. But
Oh,
a
okay.
ton of people have reached out saying their aphantasia has dissipated in some ways. I had a couple people reach out and say nothing happened besides their dreaming. And I'd ask them, did you used to dream? They'd say no. I see that as a win. But I've had
Mhm.
probably 30 or 40 people reach out in the last year saying, my mom or my grandma or me myself used SeptaSync and had spontaneous mental imagery for the first time ever. We had an 86-year-old, something in that age range. She said she could picture a slice of pizza for the first time ever, and that was the first thing she ever saw in her brain was just like a slice of pizza.
I was gonna say, hopefully not the
Um,
kind of pizza from the Epstein Files, like a real
oh
pizza.
my God, no! We can hope.
Imagine that's the first thing she's picturing.
Oh
I had to. It was right there. I had to
no, it
make
was
a joke.
I walked myself into it without even realizing it.
I mean, anytime you eat pizza now, it's hard to like think of like every time I'm like on DoorDash ordering pizza, I'm like, this feels fucking wrong. You know,
Dude,
it
it's my
feels weird.
favorite food, and I can't even say that anymore.
I
Like,
know.
imagine if I say that on this podcast, people in the comments would be like, "Yo, like
I
that's
love
suspect."
pizza and grape soda.
Like, God damn it, dude, my favorite food. But I'll start
I
eating
know.
calzones.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't tried one yet. I'll try a calzone. I have
Oh, they're
half a pizza
great.
in my fridge right now. See, even just saying
Calzones
that
are
right now,
really
it
good.
feels. They were literally talking about like that in the files. Like, I got a half a fucking pizza in the fridge, or they had like you see the baby or whatever mixed in with the chicken
The
picture.
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That
shit.
was disturbing.
Just so they'll talk
Half
about
the
just.
pizza. Did you see the one with Bill Clinton? He cut the kid's feet off.
I heard something about that.
I can't. I still.
Was it Bill
I got to
Clinton
go
who did
back for a
it?
second. I can't believe this shit is real. Like I'm in shock still. It's been weeks.
What was that
Yeah,
story? Was it Bill Clinton?
yeah. He apparently cut a kid's feet off. They did like a ritual sacrifice, and they like tore into the
Yeah.
kid, like eating. It was talking about
Oh
like
no, yeah,
cream
yeah. He was like in his guts or whatever, right? They cut him open after like the kid, and like there was a picture
They
of
were
him like,
eating from his guts, and apparently it
yes,
tastes like
yeah,
cream cheese because it was a kid who was being breastfed.
right, yeah. I heard that was the
It's
explanation. People were like,
I
why would they
believe that.
taste like cream cheese? And then someone was like, yeah, it's because they're like drinking milk all the time, and they're like, oh, that's why. It's just
No, I
the
completely
revelations
believe
are
it
so
because
gross.
that's so specific. Like someone doesn't make that up. Like these,
I know.
that's happening in this world.
I thought it was Prince
We can't
Andrew
do.
that did that one. Are you sure it was Bill Clinton? I mean, it very
Yeah,
well
I know
could have
Bill
been because
Clinton cut
like,
the kid's feet off and they were eating. The cream cheese may have come from a different one. Same activity though.
yeah. Did you see Bill Clinton testifying recently under oath, looking through the fucking pages, just with a big smile, licking his finger, changing the page, just like, and the
He
lawyer
knows
tried to grab
nothing's
it
gonna
from him.
happen. He
What do you
knows
say?
nothing will happen.
I know, yeah, he fucking knows, yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
see
do
it
you
in
think
his
it's
face.
possible though? I think there might be a tiny possibility that the Clintons genuinely hate Trump and there was some kind of falling out or feud, even though they're all in the cult. Like, what if there was a giant falling out and they do want to take each other down so badly, and that there is a possibility they might rat on each other if they're all going down? Like, there was that Trump audio where he's like screaming,
Start a war.
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care what you fucking do. Start a fucking war. If I'm going down, I'm taking everyone with me. And that
Spot
very
on.
well could have been real now.
No, I was pretty sure that was real back then. It was
Because he lost his voice. And they asked him about
yeah,
it, right? He's like, I was screaming at some very stupid people. He should have been like, they're fucking retarded. They're fucking retarded people.
they're retarded.
They're
Yeah,
retarded.
it's bad. It's bad. None of this stuff surprises me yet. I'm like in shock. I don't know the
Yeah, I'm just disgusted. I'm not shocked anymore. I'm just like, I'm I'm just angry that the people around me, think about all the people that died to get to this point, right? To all the truth tellers saying the truth, taking the risks and stuff. Even I saw Edward Snowden talking recently about after he, did what he did to disclose, he fucking lost his entire life essentially to disclose how they're spying on us 24/7. He's like, my worst fear is that nothing will happen and people will just go about their daily lives and no one will change anything. And then that's exactly what happened. Same thing with this stuff. I'm like, I'm thinking about like even Virginia Griffey, or however you say her name, who got killed recently in that car crash, right? Like she survived it. She was like the Epstein victim speaking out against Prince Andrew and all that stuff. And they killed her right after, said she committed suicide, but she said, I will never kill myself. And, now, she died for exposing all this stuff. No one cares. I'm like talking to people in my family. You know how many people died for this stuff? Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'm like, you're fucking evil. I fucking hate it so much.
literally, yeah. They're Boeing and they're whistleblowers. I mean, from the outside in, it looks like they just got away with like taking out 3 whistleblowers last year or 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, they're
This
getting
stuff's
loud with
just
it. They
okay.
don't care.
And it's in our face. They don't care at all. They don't hide it. Israel scares the shit out of me, dude. Those guys are
Did you see?
terrifying.
Did you see? They're not even like they had that influencer program where they promised to pay everyone like
They're
$7,000.
not paying
Yeah,
anybody.
they're not paying. They're getting sued because they didn't pay anyone.
So the best part about that is they who is it in the Bible that sells out Jesus for a couple like silver coins? Was it Judas?
What is it? I don't know about the coins part. It must have been Judas, though. Yeah.
So yeah, someone sells out Jesus and they basically adjusted for inflation and paid the same amount of money. So that
What?
I found that so funny.
Oh, was it
So
seven
adjusted
thousand?
for inflation, the people that made those
No
videos,
way.
yeah, they
Oh
do
my
this stuff
God,
and
they
they
did that
do it
on
on purpose.
purpose. They had to
Yeah, all the
have.
time. They do
Yeah,
this all the time.
yeah.
It's
Well, because they,
ridiculous. I
they view us as
remember,
fucking cattle. They love fucking with us. But that's the thing. Like after, you can't really. I mean, they're obviously evil, and I give them no consent to do what they're doing. But like, they have a point. Like after me talking to my family the other day, like, and I honestly don't even see a lot of them as family anymore. There's like people I was born and they're around me. I mean, they are fucking cattle. A lot of people are just so disappointing. Like they like to go and have treats all the time and just, they love to eat and consume and consume and consume. It's like we're on a farm. And I think that's what this is. I think this is evil, energetic farm that we're on, that these parasitic
Oh my God,
entities.
have you ever heard of Animal Farm?
The movie,
It's
yeah.
like a banned movie or a banned book. It's supposedly about communists, but it's basically just talking about what America's turning into. It's
Mhm.
very accurate for today. Um,
Yeah.
with what you were saying too, yeah, my grandpa also taught me this. Only a small percent of people revolt, and that's all you need. Like in the Revolutionary War, I had to Google it. It's like 3 to 10% of Americans
Yeah, that's what I've
actually
heard,
fought.
3%. Yeah.
Yeah, they say
But the
like
thing is, we did have the
realistically,
French come and help us too. That's the thing, though.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I bet if 10% of America fought back, they probably couldn't handle all of it.
I agree.
Organizing that would be impossible, though. We'd all end up in prison like before the group chat even forms.
That's the problem, right? Like in
Yeah.
Nepal, it was possible because of, it's Nepal. Here, we're in the empire. Like we are, this is the empire. Like Darth Vader is around us, like Palantir and all that shit. Like as soon as you try and organize, they're going to fucking clamp down on you. So we would have to all literally do it at once. And the people in the military would have to do the right thing first, right? We'd have to kind of have a fight. What's kind of like is like how in the Dark Knight Rises, how all the police force is charging at Bane's force, and they have all the they have Bruce Wayne's military, all his tech, and then they're scared to run at him because they're just going to get mowed down. But then Bruce Wayne flies in with the EMP and like takes out all the guns, so they have a fighting chance. We need that fighting chance. So people in the military have got to do something.
We already have the fighting chance. It's just getting people to do it. I mean, it's the same thing in Star Wars like it is right now. The US thinks they're like untouchable. And they will totally underestimate everybody, like Iran, unless they were planning to get clapped like we are. They bombed so many of our bases.
Do you
Japanese
th-
news is reporting like 500 deaths in a few days. Trump said 6 people died.
Do you
I've seen
think
the
that
videos. I
they're
know
in
more
the
than six
cult though
people
too?
died.
Like how far reaching does the cult go? How much of the stuff we see on the world stage is theater? You know what I mean? Like I always question like are they how much of it is orchestrated? How much news do I believe is actually happening?
I don't trust anything anymore except for like I'll see something on my phone from like someone filming like a missile landing right next to their
Right.
building, and then I'll usually go Google it, and that's like the only way I feel like I can trust any information because it's all theater.
I mean, a lot of it is theater. Like, it's possible the leader of Iran isn't even dead, and he was just a character, playing a part. Just like Trump is just a character playing a part too. I'm sure he has, he's just a puppet. I mean, he is definitely evil and part of the cult, but he's has someone higher up than him telling him exactly the part he's supposed to play. Um, which I'm sure he has some say in stuff. He is an extreme narcissist, and I'm sure has control issues. But I'm
I
sure
would bet.
bows the knee to
I'd bet money.
someone. What do you say?
I said I would bet money.
Right? Yeah, he bent the knee to Bill Clinton, right? Yeah, to blow Bubba.
Dude, it's you're completely right about all of that. It's so much of it is just theater, and
Because
I don't know
just
who's
like you
really in
said with,
control.
sorry to cut you off, but like it's the like you talked about with the 7,000 thing, right? Which is the same amount as Judas. They put that shit in our faces, right? So I think they put Trump in there too to rub it in the Goyim's faces. They're like, we literally have a reality TV show host, running your reality TV show, Truman Show country. I think that they make it that transparent, and also to bypass karma too. But like, it's just very transparent. Really examining it from a higher point of view. It's all just a play.
Yeah, there's a video of a like masked IDF soldier. This is a couple years old at least, or I saw it a couple years ago, and he's talking about how the world is a theater and they're the producers.
Mhm.
And he mentioned like 9/11 and some other stuff, and everyone was like, "Yo, say that again, like exactly how you said it. Say that again."
Yeah. Have you ever
It's
looked at the 9/11 clip of the plane? Like, I keep saying the word like a lot. I don't know why, but it keeps when it goes into the towers, it kind of looks like it was AI. It
No, that
doesn't
shit's
seem
fake. I mean, a plane crashed into the building, most definitely, and they rigged it with bombs, but like it was not a
right.
commercial airliner. All of the people that saw it said the plane had no markings. You go look at the videos, it's just a gray Boeing 747. Like,
Hmm.
where's the American Airlines? Or why is the plane the wrong color? Why did it look military?
And none of the
Why did
debris like
multiple
flew off
explosions
anywhere.
happen?
It just like went in like the Silver Surfer, when it flew through the building. It was weird. It
Yeah,
didn't. Yeah.
and then they're saying like, the plane's disintegrated and stuff, but the passports survived.
Right. I mean, it's
Or
ridiculous.
the plane crashing into the Pentagon is the dumbest thing ever. A Boeing 747 was in frame for in video for 1 frame, and it was like 3 feet off the ground. That's a missile. That's
Yeah,
like one of the
obviously.
missiles they shoot at boats. They like skim the water so they can't get shot easily.
And it hit the tax department, right, where they missed, the billions of dollars or failed to audit, the day before. So, it's
My
so
parents
obvious, but people bought it.
my parents bought it, and recently they just like came around. I was talking to them when they were visiting California, and I was telling them, I was like, you got to admit 9/11's fishy now, and they were like, yeah, like can't really ignore that anymore.
I think people just
Um,
accepted it because it's so much easier to not think or accept the truth of your government is literally absolute evil and is actively harming all of you. And it's a pretty scary thing to confront. And now that we're all confronting on a world, uh, you know, as a society, as a human race, it's just a lot to reconcile with. And then how do you form a resistance against that? I mean, I hope Chris Bledsoe is right and we have external help from a higher good source, finally. My question would be like, because Chris said that the lady told him, when the suffering of man becomes too great, then we will come and intervene, right? But I'm like, what does too great mean? What about the victims of Epstein, being tortured and Hillary Clinton like cutting the face off that kid and wearing it or whatever? Let's say that was real. Is that suffering not enough? Why wait so long? That's what really gets me when I hear that.
when you speak about the unseen, you have to think about it from the point of view that like they know that which you don't. Like, for example, with theology, like when God was making, like in Islam, God made the earth and let Jinn live here before us, which they're like entities, like spirits we can't see.
Mhm. Which is the word,
Like in a
word genie
dimension.
was based off Jinn, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And these Jinn, they had free roam on the earth. Some of them were good, some were evil, some of them were Muslims, and they like just
Huh.
fucked up the earth really bad. They destroyed the world, messed everything up. So God then creates man after the Jinn have their time with the earth, and the angels are like, yo, you just made a species that just promoted evil and attacked all the good people. Why are you doing it again? And God just told him, well, he said, I know that which you don't. So I was trying to think about that. Like, I can't zoom out whatever is happening, and I don't know what the plan is, but it seems really fucked up from where I'm at right now. I can't lie
See,
about
I
that
think
part.
that to me that sounds more like a lower god, like a lowercase g god, like the demiurge or Yal Debaoth, same thing, which is like the god of the Old
Oh,
Testament, a
from
jealous god, or
Gnosticism, yeah.
from Gnosticism. I think there is a one true reality that Jesus spoke about, which would be in Gnosticism they call it the monad, which would be like the real world from the Matrix or something. That is, which I really do believe. I just released an article kind of all about this, about how when you examine the nature of this reality, it's unharmonized energetically. Like, hey, kitty, cat inbound.
This is
Um,
like their highway on my computer desk.
yeah. I was just saying, we live in a reality where you have to consume energy to survive. So it's just a cycle of constant consuming, and you have to put dead bodies in your body to live, I think. And also, by the way, the mere spelling of live is evil. Same with the mere spelling of lived is devil. I find shit like that interesting.
That is very interesting.
Right. I realized, I was just, as I was writing, I'm like, huh, literally that's, because I've learned how everything in this world is inverted. So I'm like, I've been looking at
I
spelling
wonder
neurodivergently and
I wonder how that works in like the more ancient languages.
right. Yeah, which
That'd be
ours is just based off of. And ancient languages were based off of zodiac signs and constellations. They then turned into letters and stuff. And yeah, I'm sure there's a connection there. But yeah, this is obviously not energetically harmonized. We aren't amplified by each other. Like, so when we're talking, our energy is more synced up, right? It's amplifying. Like when two waves meet that are similar in wavelength, right? It's the amplitude is doubled. But when two wavelengths are different, they cancel each other out, right? And this reality is all inverted and cancels each other out. It's not coherent. It's not harmonized. And that's why I believe this isn't the one true reality. It's some matrix, poorly made version of the one true reality.
Or is the one true reality, or what if the afterlife is that? You know, this is why I love theology, because you can argue in circles with people. And it's so much fun. Like I was talking to my friend about the difference between manifestation versus prayer, and there's literally nothing besides the name which you assign, like
Right.
like whatever you're asking for. The only difference is who are you asking to? Are you asking to the universe, or are you asking to God? Are those the same thing? I find this stuff so interesting. So I want to go to school for philosophy.
Yeah. And yeah, everything is just labels, right? I completely agree there. And, you know, they say the kingdom of heaven is within you. So honestly, you could just pray to yourself too. Like pray within yourself to the source of everything. I try to pray to very specific. I'm like, I pray to the source of all powerful love or something like that. So I put characteristics in there that I want to make sure that I'm receiving from certain ideals, because I don't
Yeah.
want, you know.
You don't want to invite some other random shit into your life. Yeah, I
Right.
pray to whatever made me. That's why I liked Islam so much. Because a lot of it is like just throw all the religion stuff aside and like pray 5 times a day to what made you. Like you can, you don't have to call him God or Allah or whatever. Just like your creator. And I think that's what's important. Like just connect with. I don't think this world's random. I think it's way too perfect to be random. I wholeheartedly believe something made this place. There's design, not randomness.
Especially once you start experiencing like tons of synchronicities, and you can tell it's an orchestration, at least in my life. Things seem so even events and dates I've just examined, and I've realized they all have a pattern to it. And even recently, just when I speak about things, they seem to happen a lot faster. Like the synchronicities have been off the charts recently. And I can tell this is all just a video game, movie, something like that. I think it's an orchestration. And yeah, it might just be, it feels more like this is purgatory, or this is some waiting room, not a big deal. Maybe that's why God doesn't care that much, because this is some not big deal experience, like playing a VR game for a little bit. You take off the headset and you're back to being normal. So, but the thing is, it's still a real experience. Like when you're being tortured by Jeffrey Epstein, it's still a real experience.
Yeah, you're still
So,
feeling it.
yeah.
No, it's horrible what happens. And I followed your line of thinking for like a huge chunk of my life, where it's like, how could a God let something like this happen? It's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Well,
horrible.
that's why I'm like, I get the bad demiurge God doing it. And like you talked about the Jinn, let's say the Jinn need to feed off your energy, the bad Jinn or whatever that are still around here in the spirit
Yeah, that's how it
world.
works. That's how we believe it works.
Right. Which I believe. Like there's definitely entities around us, non-physical entities that we can't see within the light spectrum. They're around us feeding off our negative energy. Like I definitely 100% think that's true. But my question is, which the demiurge is allowing, whatever. But why would the one true God that's in the monad allow that to happen? So I go back to the very thing. Is it just like,
Well,
if he's
I
dealing
mean,
with
get real philosophical. Is suffering like always without reason? Your life being a roller coaster is the only reason you can appreciate being happy. Maybe you need to go
Yes
through a
and
ton of
no,
shit to
because
go
I
live in
think
a
that
place of
I
eternal
wrote
peace.
I wrote an article recently about how I believe duality can exist in good without evil. I think that you could have, because people say like you have to have the darkness of like, being tortured in order to understand what bliss could be. I think that you could have, or like to have bad experiences, you need pain in order to have clarity. I say like you could have peace and rest in order to have clarity and go up to bliss and ecstasy, and you can have that kind of duality within a good experience, instead of being tortured or having extreme pain. The thing about pain is pain keeps hurting you long after you learn the lesson. So my question is, why still continue to have pain even after you've learned what you need to learn and have moved on from it? That's where I can understand a little bit of pain in order to course correct and be like, oh, I get that now, but now let's move on from it. Well, let's say, I'm a good example. I'm in a wheelchair. I've gone through the struggle. I've learned extreme lessons. I've died a bunch, come back to life. I've gone through, absolutely horrific things. And I'm like, I got the lesson. I've just gotten clear, like, oh, no matter, even at my lowest, I've still done good. I know my true character now. Why am I still being hurt? Why am I still going through monotonous stuff like that? That's what kind of keeps me going. Like, pain keeps hurting you after you learn the lesson. What is the purpose for that? That seems more like torture instead of like a school kind of system that a lot of spiritual people think Earth is.
Yeah, it's a really good, really interesting outlook on it. And I don't even see it like a school. I mean, I see it like a test, but not a school. Like, I don't think of life as a place where I'm here to learn. It's a life where I'm faced with situations and I need to make the right choices, or I will fall from who I want to be. And I like to think about the
Mhm.
afterlife. That always makes it easier to do the right thing.
It
But
does, but
yeah, I understand you completely.
is that just kind of us coping, trying to make meaning like, oh, we'll be rewarded finally for being good in one lifetime? I'm kind of like, why go through a test? Like, what are you testing for? Are we in a quantum computer? If we are, I'm sure you've heard about us being multidimensional beings. That just makes me think that we're in a quantum computer testing for simulations. And they always say like, oh, source is experiencing itself to figure out who source truly is. I'm like, that literally just sounds like a quantum computer running
No, yeah, like the
simulations.
egg theory.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
interesting stuff. There's stuff in the Quran that kind of talks about this, but it talks about like rich people will be at the gates of heaven, and God will ask, like, "Did you suffer?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, I had all these problems with my Ferrari, and like my wife wasn't that hot or whatever." Then he'll ask the poor and the disabled people who are sitting at the gates of heaven, like, "Did you suffer?" And says like the people with the worst lives are going to be the ones to say this was all worth it, because they're staring right out at where they're at. I mean,
Yeah, but then God
if you
also
went through
put
all this shit
you
and
in that situation, right? They put you in that wealthy family or gave you the opportunities to be rich or made you stay handicapped and limited you in certain ways. You know, that those situations were made for you against your will. And even if you agree to it beforehand, if we all have the kingdom of God within us or the force of God within us, shouldn't we be able to change our circumstance? Or if we have true free will, can we say, all right, I give up on this thing, or let's change a few things? Or I think there should be more communication. If I knew why I'm going through what I'm going through and had that origin point of understanding, I have my quote that I wrote years ago, like, understanding evokes peace, justice, and love. I truly believe that when you understand the purpose for something, it allows you to get through things, to have a endpoint or a goal in mind, or, oh, that makes sense. Now I'll do this. Why I'm doing this. I don't get the mystery behind it. I hate bullshit. I like when things get to the point and are clear and concise and also empathetic. I mean, I look at nature. In order for a lion to survive, it has to rip the throat out of a gazelle. I'm like, that doesn't seem, there's no test there. That's just pain with no purpose. Besides, that lion gets to live another day while it's also worried about being killed by something, a hunter, you know. I just see a lot of fear and loose harvesting opportunities. That's why I think this is kind of like a prison planet.
I hear you, but zoom out. Like the more you zoom out, if the world kept improving, like what is heaven? That goes back to what I was saying. There has to be some down so you can appreciate the up. Otherwise, wherever we're at is gonna just be shitty or feel that way.
I'm kind of like, how much down does a person need in order to understand or appreciate what up is?
That's a good point. You're a very good case for that, especially.
Yeah.
I have this conversation with my friend.
Maybe you're hitting me. You're maybe hitting me on like a. I'm usually very optimistic. It's just the past couple months, it literally could just be the energy of everything going on. I've just been kind of stuck in a little negativity. I don't know.
Well, I don't blame you at all. I mean, dude, you're like a huge inspiration for me. I've got this nervous system disorder and I can't get out of bed sometimes. And I literally think about you. And I'm like,
Oh, really? Thank you.
this fool died like 3 times and does a podcast and all this stuff and like goes and does comedy. I'm like, I'm getting my ass out of bed. But I mean, I understand like the world's felt so weird and negative, but man, like you do good for me when you don't even know you're doing it.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. And you know, I have extreme hyper empathy, and like I love hearing things like that. You know, I want the best for everyone, and I think everyone should have the most opportunities they can have. But I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I just wish that God would be more communicable. I wish there
Yeah,
would be
like
more
if you knew he was at the
communication.
end of the tunnel, this would all feel a lot better, huh?
Yeah, you know, not having stone tablets and not having a bunch of different denominations of religions and arguing and fighting and people scripting the book of Revelations in order to gain more power. I think that neurodivergent people and people with empathy should be running the world and teaching all of, you know, people like Pete Hegseth, who's just like the fakest version of what a true masculine man is. They should be at the bottom learning, right? And also, if we are all God, let's say spiritual people, right? And well, I mean, technically, if in religions too, God made us, so we are a part of God. We're children of
Yeah, like
God. So
our soul came from God. Yeah, that's what
right,
the
so we're all
religions
a
say.
part of. Why would we need to learn lessons if we're all a part of the infinite? I don't get
Well,
that one
because you're
either.
made by something doesn't mean that's what you are. But that is an interesting way to think about it.
If we all have
Yeah, that's a
infinity
really
inside of
interesting way to
us,
think about it.
yeah, why do we have to learn lessons if we're all infinite, multidimensional beings connected to God at any time, which is outside
What
of
if we're
space and time?
like the infant version? Like we're like infants, you know? Because like our
Hmm.
souls, like they could be young. This could just be like God just birthed us like a week ago, for example.
Like we're really
Or a
small
week in
fractals of
spiritual time.
God. Like we're just the beginning fractal of God, a really small one, and that's what an infinite is. Could be.
Like going in like the Gnosticism side of it. Isn't that how it is? Like the soul broke into a ton of pieces. Or
I'm not
trapped.
sure,
Isn't
but
that
I mean, either any way
Gnosticism?
you look at it, if we're all children of God, we're all fractals, we're all small pieces of God, and maybe some of us are just bigger pieces. And at well, if time doesn't exist, we are everything at once, right? So at this one slice of time on like a timeline, if you're looking at a timeline editor in a video editor, we're at the very beginning of that time slice, but we also still exist at the end because time isn't real; it's just an illusion, right? So, because if you're looking from a higher dimension, you can see this point and this point at the same time. So, I guess that's what your higher self would be, is the end point that you can call on, who's already gone through everything. The spiritual people talk about. That's where he learned all the
Interesting. So,
lessons.
yeah, like in Islam, you are it's the higher self. All that stuff's a little bit different. You are like your higher self, but anytime you're unconscious, you're sold like dips. Like you go like visit with like people and stuff.
Mhm.
So like dead people can visit you in your dreams, and it's like in Islam especially, like there's markers they look for, but that's like your soul left, and you go talk to people. It's really neat. It kind of reminds me of what you're saying. Like we're all just pieces of a fragmented being or something.
Maybe we were trying to like put ourselves back together. If we were a fragmented consciousness, like a Rick and Morty episode. I thought of that a lot. You ever see that
Yo,
episode where
I have a question for you. Put something in perspective. So, um, would you sell your eyeballs for any amount of money?
people don't want my eyeballs? I've had
No, I'm
a
saying
lot of surgeries.
like if I gave you $1 billion, would you let me like take your eyes right now?
No,
Or $10 billion? Is there any
no,
number that you would get rid of your vision for?
absolutely not. No.
Then is the world all bad? Like God gave you something you won't sell for money. While the world might be fucked up, we have these things about ourselves that we hold so close. Like I wouldn't let go of my vision for any amount of money. Um,
Yeah, but the thing is, I was blind until I was 20. Until I was 20, right? I was till I was 20. I was legally blind until I was 20. So
I
he
did
didn't
not
give
know
me.
that. That was such a
Yeah.
poor example I used. That's really
and then
funny.
I and then I went through over a dozen extremely painful eye surgeries that were. I mean, I had eye surgery, emergency eye surgery, not even in an operating room, in a chair while I was wide awake. He said either you go blind completely in this eye from a retinal detachment and you lose it, or you gotta tough it out. You can't move your pupil. You gotta like look up and to the right, and you can't look away. Otherwise, I'll blind you while I'm operating on your eye. I have to get it just done well enough until we get an operating room when they open, for us to be able to get there in time. And I'm like, I guess fine. And by the way, anything that touched my eyes was like my worst nightmare because I used to have bulletproof thick glasses because my vision was so bad. So I didn't like things getting close to my eyes because they were always so protected, right? And it would disorient me because I was legally blind. So it was my worst nightmare. So I had to confront my worst nightmare. And yeah, he operated on my eye while I was fully awake and conscious.
Dude,
And for over an hour. And then after that, we had to go and do laser surgery while I was fully awake and conscious. And then I had to go and have another surgery in the operating room right after. So I've gone
if
through
you,
it, bro. And I've
if
died
you didn't
over a
have all
dozen
these health
times as well.
problems,
And
you would be like a Navy SEAL. Like you are one of the strongest dudes I know. I'm not kidding when I say that.
it's
I
been a
mean,
fucking what ride, bro. I've been surrounded by absolute narcissists my whole life. I mean, extreme narcissists that are supposed to care for you and then go through that and
they torture you.
I
Yeah.
had someone who's supposed to care for you. Um, I don't, she, I don't know if I should say her name, whatever, but someone that gives you life, right? She told me while I had 105-degree fever. I was telling you the other day, actually, because you were sick. I had 105-degree fever. I didn't know at the time, but I had COVID and pneumonia. And I said, and I have 20% lung capacity. So people were dying
Yeah, I
who just
remember you
had,
mentioning that.
yeah. So, and I'm just a trooper. So I'm like, I've survived things that would kill anyone else. I'm not saying better than anyone else. I've
No, dude,
literally
you're
died and come back
strong.
to
You're
life.
like the
So
modern day Rasputin in my eyes.
like,
They tried to kill that guy and they couldn't.
I
Like,
don't know. Maybe I've done the quantum immortality thing, that theory where I really did die and went to a parallel universe. Who knows? But all I know is, according to my consciousness, I've gone through shit that would kill anyone else and survived. But she said to me, I'm done taking you to the hospital, Michael. You've ruined my life. You figure it out. I'm not doing this. So she didn't help. Oh, this is the other thing. I had supraventricular tachycardia. So while I couldn't breathe, 20% lung capacity, 105-degree fever, my heart rate was probably 250 to 300 because my heart would get stuck in a certain rhythm. So I had all that going on at once. And I knew that my heart rate would kill me because it's killed me before that high. So I said, I have to go to the hospital. And that's when she told me, well, I'm like, dying in bed. I'm not doing this anymore. Figure it out. In that kind of narcissistic way a person would do. And I knew then there, if I didn't leave that house, I was going to die there. So I kind of manifested being in my apartment here today. I shouldn't be alive, but I am. And eventually I got someone else to take me to the hospital. I was so fucked up from 105-degree fever and so conditioned that if I ever called 911, I would be in so much trouble and I'd be screamed at till kingdom come, right? That I didn't cross my mind to call 911 because I would be chewed out for the rest of my life if I ever did that or become homeless.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's
so that's the kind of stuff that makes
horrible.
me think. I've never had anything really going for me. I'm here despite everything coming against me, and I made me a stronger person. But that's why I would never sell out. You can't. No one could ever buy me with money for anything. Maybe that's because I'm supposed to lead something, whatever. But I'm just like, isn't there a better way to do it out of infinity than torturing someone to mold them into that thing? There has to be a better way. I mean, why not just have everything be harmony to begin with? Why have a flawed world where people are like that? Why make, like you talked about, why make a race of Jinn that became evil and started doing shit? Why would you not do that again to another race? I just see a lot of things that don't add up. I just see so many better possibilities. Like when I go, I don't know if you knew I did this. I've talked about it on other podcasts. I'll go around and I'll buy flowers and I'll give them out to people. And I tell them you're worthy of anything your heart desires. And I do that because I want people to know that instead of random bad shit going on all the time, there can be random good things that can happen too. And that people can choose to be that possibility of positivity. You just don't see it that often. And maybe there is people that do that in the world, but it's just not covered. It's not, like I don't want to film myself like Mr. Beast. I don't know how you feel about Mr. Beast, but I hate that shit. I hate filming yourself in that awful
I had to
charity
do it
shit.
once when we donate 10% of our SeptaSync money, and people were like saying I wasn't donating, so I bought like 200 containers of curry, and I had to video myself like
I
handing
put
it
that in
out.
my
I
clips from
posted it.
last episode. But that wasn't bad though.
The
That was
one
like
time.
you showing like, I'm actually doing what I said I'm doing.
Yeah,
He's obviously doing it for like,
it's
all right, we're gonna make
performative.
people compete for money. And I'm like, that's such a psyop, dude. That's such a psyop what he's doing. I hate people doing that shit.
No, and people will demean themselves to hell and back for money. Like if Squid Games
Yeah,
was real, I would bet money there's a wait list to go compete in that shit. I'd bet
I
money
know.
there's like a 10-year wait list to have a chance. And people would go kill themselves for the chance at riches. Maybe
Because
that's why the
to
world
them,
needs
like
to be
God
so
is
bad.
money. They believe that their God is money versus like, I love Jesus so much, or Yeshua is his real name, because he spoke about self-empowerment. The kingdom of his is within you. You'll do better works than me. He spoke about sovereignty and responsibility and doing the right thing and helping people. And then all the people that say they worship him do the exact opposite and are starting wars
nothing
over
like
him.
him.
Yeah.
Or they hate the groups that do some good. Like I know Muslims have a bad rap, but like all the Muslims I know are some of the best people I've ever met. Like they go feed the homeless and help people and donate all the time. They do good around their community. They paint each other's houses. Someone's car breaks. They're pooling money to buy them a new car. Someone told me recently there's no hate like Christian love, and it's like the saddest thing that is very true sometimes, because like Jesus is the prime example of how we should all be, just caring and
Well,
having compassion for one another.
you think about what they did. They literally turned his message, like Paul, who wrote 85% of the New Testament. They just inverted everything because this whole world's inverted. They inverted everything he stood for. He talked about how you'll do better works than me and don't, worship me. Do as I say. Follow what I'm doing. Follow my commands here and help people. Feed the poor. Love your neighbor. Shit like that. And they said, oh no, we're just going to worship you instead. And because we worship you, we can do a bunch of shit, bad shit. We'll go in on Sunday and all is forgiven after we do a bunch of bad shit. So they're just, doing that loophole because they don't want responsibility. Same with the people like we're both aware of who they find out about the Epstein Files. Oh, it doesn't affect me. I'll just pray to Jesus and he'll save me. And I don't have to worry about anyone being tortured and stuff because I'm washed in the blood of Jesus. I'm washed in his blood. I'm going to go pretend to drink his blood in church. I'm going to go pretend to eat his body in church. What does that remind me of?
That
it
shit
reminds me of the
so
rituals Epstein's
weird.
doing. But they turned the evil rituals they are doing, right, where they're worshiping Baal, and they just made everyday people do it to rub it in their face. It's like they're making fun of, the Goyim. And I get it. People are they still fall for it.
Well, I don't know why they like the whole Christians thinking Jesus is a god. Like I have issues with that for quite a few reasons, but one of them is like, how did man kill him?
If he's a god, right?
Yeah, like that, he made it clear, don't worship me, I'm the son of God. And then everyone's like, let's worship this guy. Like that's why Muslims aren't allowed to paint their prophet, 'cause they don't want people to start worshiping statues in 10,000 years. Get confused.
That actually makes sense.
It's such a logical religion. You should look into it for your own theology purposes.
Well, what about the whole thing about Muhammad marrying like a child and all that stuff?
Okay, that is so heavily debated. If you look at the timestamps, there's no way she could have been like under like 17 or 18. People lived to like 30 or 40 back then, so it was pretty normal.
Right.
That being said, I'm still weirded out by that living in this day and age, but people were getting married and had like 2 kids at 12 back then. Like,
yeah, it's strange.
That was totally normal, that disturbs me like deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something just seems really off about that. Apparently that is called modernism, my feeling of that being wrong. It's called modernism. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. It's such a misunderstood religion. Like the hijab is like very optional. I don't know, everyone thinks it's all just like a ton of like terrorists and stuff. It's pretty sad because it's the most loving like God followers I think I've ever met.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like they do actually, most Christians just, go to church every now and then. And, like we just talked about, they do terrible things and they think they're forgiven. Like Muslims are known for like following, they really do it. They follow through. You got to give them that.
You have to pray 5 times a day. You have to spend a whole month not eating or drinking water between sunrise and sunset. Like you have to do a lot. You have to be so dedicated. But I've always felt pretty spiritual, especially in the last few years. Like things opened in my mind. It's hard to word still, awakened. And the feeling I get when I like pray is enough for me to go through all that stuff. And like I peed earlier. I need to go take a shower before I pray to be clean. Just the way I feel makes it worth it for me. There's like something about it when you really put in the effort, like you get what's the word? You get the feeling back. Like,
so you really do it 5 times a day?
Yeah, I can't always make my 5 prayers. So my nervous system issue, it's called POTS, like dysautonomia. It's a blanket term. When I like go down or up, my blood pressure gets real weird. So I'll have blood pool in my hands. So my hands get like real pixelated looking. I just end up laying down a lot. So when I pray, like I have to. Huh?
You get pixelated looking?
Yeah, like my hands. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it gets like very splotchy. It's not very bad right now. Yeah, I'll send you a photo where it'll be like really clear from earlier today. But yeah, my hand will look like I'll start feeling tired. I'll look at my hand and I'm like, oh, this is happening. And I get like it's hard to stand. I get real dizzy and stuff. So I have to pray like either standing or kneeling. Like I can't, go through the motions because it sets off my nervous system for some reason.
And you said that happened after you got the COVID shot?
Yeah. I mean, it like a couple years after, but everyone's so tired now. I was wondering, like, are these connected? Am I just thinking? I don't know. But
I don't know. I know a lot of people did develop, like, some people I know too developed like diseases right after or a couple of years after getting the shot. And knowing that Epstein's DNA probably is in it is insane. Like
as long as I don't die from this, I'll be happy. Like,
is it lethal?
Like as long as it doesn't get worse and I die when I'm like 30 or something, I could live with this my whole life. I don't want to, but it is what it is. I don't have a choice.
Is it
And then
lethal?
I see people with it so much worse. It's hard to complain.
Is it can it kill you?
No, no, not at all.
Oh,
That was
okay.
just like a blanket statement. Like, I'm happy to deal with it. I can't take medicine for it or anything. Nothing really helps. But I just like,
Oh.
once my hand heals up from surgery, I'll just exercise again. That makes a pretty good difference. Just gets the blood moving.
So it's like a blood pressure issue. It just doesn't.
Yeah, like the simple way to think about it is if I stand up or sit down, my heart rate will have like a 30 or 40 beats per minute change in either direction. So my blood either pressure spikes or it all ends up pooling in like my legs.
Okay. Yeah.
Like compression socks, I can kind of lay on my back with my legs up. Some things help, but it's you can't shake dizziness sometimes. It's just there.
I wonder if I kind of had that too a little bit, mostly because I'm always sedentary. So like the the pressure is always like if I make a sudden movement from sitting, then things will kind of get a little woozy and stuff. I wonder if a
Yeah.
beta blocker would help you to regulate your heart rate. That's why I was on for a
I don't
while.
know. So the heart rate, the way they test it is they like basically strap you to a table and they make you like lay for 10 minutes and then they bring you up. And then they like did another test where I was down and up like once a minute.
Kind of like Darth Vader on the table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like the
Yeah.
thing. And all they look for is a 30 or 40 beats per minute change in heart rate every time you move. And if that happens, you have the issue. And
Mm.
it's just like a mixed signal in the brain or something. How would beta
Mm.
blockers help that, I wonder?
Beta blockers regulate your heart rate, and also it does affect your blood pressure. Um, it's
Oh,
something worthy to possibly ask about. I wonder if any connection
do
between
they have like
thoughts
long?
and
I don't really take medicine. Like I took Advil for this when I broke my hand. I took the pain meds too, but I like mostly just take Advil if something's really bad and I avoid anything else. Does it have like long-term effects or anything?
no, it's a pretty stable medication. Some people even take it for stage anxiety, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I've taken beta blockers for stage going
Yeah,
on a plane once too. Sorry about
but
the
I
cats.
oh, that's okay.
It's like their spot, dude. They just walk through here all day while I work. Oh, this is the other cat. This is Momo.
Hey, Momo.
He's a big guy. He's malleable. He'll let you just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I love cats. Cute.
No, he's such a good guy. And
Hey, Momo.
he's big.
I bet he helps like kind of like regulate your nervous system.
Oh yeah.
Having a
Whenever I'm
cat.
not feeling well, one of them will come up and start like purring on me. Like
Yeah,
with my
didn't
hand
like
surgery.
Egyptians worship cats because like their purr has like some frequency healing
It's a
abilities?
frequency that promotes tendon healing. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
it's so neat. Like
Mhm.
when I got home from surgery, my cat was like checking out my hand really intensely, and she would like, I would keep her away from it because I was worried like they might lay on it and get startled and it hurt really bad if they jump. And I'd like fall asleep from the pain meds and I'd wake up and she's like purring on my hand, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, this is so cool. Like,
She's
she's
healing
helping.
you.
But then
Yeah.
one of my neighbors dropped something and she like freaked out and it hurt. So it's
Uh,
like, damn it,
yeah.
it is what it is. Yeah, I love cats so much. I think they're like very spiritual animals. My cats play with stuff that's not there all the time,
Hmm.
and it's weird. Like I was in the bathroom and my cat's like looking up at something and like just batting at the walls and chasing something that's not there. It was like
Well,
I
they can
have a
see a
tiny
bigger
bathroom.
percentage of the light spectrum, right?
Yeah, Muslims believe they're very spiritual animals too.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like no animals allowed on your prayer mat besides a cat. You
Really
like
interesting.
yeah, like if for example you clean yourself with water before you pray, let's say like my power went out and I had no water, it'd be gross, but I could use my cat's drinking water. It's clean
Uh,
enough. Because cats clean themselves like compulsively, and their
huh.
saliva is pretty acidic, so it kills off a lot of bacterias.
How do you
They also
clean
carry a ton
yourself?
of issues, though. Like you should not do that. I'm not
Right.
recommending it.
How do you clean yourself with the water before praying?
It's neat, and if people, so did you know back in the like in the early times, the opposing armies to the Arabs thought they were like witches and warlocks because they never got sick. It's because the Quran taught people to wash their hands before they understood germs. You start by
Huh.
washing both of your hands 3 times, You wash your mouth, your nose with water, your face, hair behind your ears, behind your neck, arms, feet, 5 times a day.
Interesting.
Yeah, so COVID would not have happened if people did this. Like you literally like get water up your nose, you like exhale slightly and just, bring some water into your nose and then do that
I
and it
wonder
just
if it
keeps you
has.
clean.
I wonder if there's like there's probably some science-based reasons to all this stuff that make praying more effective. That they probably knew about that we don't know about.
There's got to be on your own time you should look into like all of the science in the Quran and stuff. Like it knew about washing hands is a pretty popular example because everyone
Mm.
still has to do that. But the guy that wrote it was illiterate. Like he could not read, he could not write. He wrote a 600-page book, or basically recited like a sentence or two here or there for 30 years. 600-page book that rhymes through and through. Like it's easy to memorize it in Arabic because it's like a song. Like you just memorize a catchy like tune, you know?
Well, you told me. I remember you told me that about the Quran, how it's all a
Yeah, and
poem, so it can't be altered, right?
it's ridiculously
I thought that was
poetic. I've been
clever.
trying to learn
Yeah.
Arabic. It's so hard, but it's
Dude,
ridiculously
I'm
poetic.
half Arabic, and I'm like, when I hear that being spoken, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're.
Dude, it's so hard. It's a language of like Allah, Hila, Allah. Like
Yeah,
it gets so. And then reading it is another thing. Like different letters for different letter positions in the word. It's nuts.
I know. It
But
just
yeah,
may
it
as well
talked
be
about
an
the
alien language.
axial. You should look into it. It talked about like axial tilt in the planets, in the way they orbit. Like there's so much science. It talked about the evil parts of your brain being housed behind the forehead, which we now know the frontal lobe is like the what makes us do
Mhm.
dumb shit. They called it the
Right.
evil forehead. And there's like thousands of examples like that. Like as a scientific person too, that was what pulled me to Islam. I was like, this hits on both ends for me. I'm like, there's science behind it. It's really misunderstood. But once I learned, I was like, this isn't all bad like I thought. I
Well,
grew up afraid of Muslims.
I wonder if it's like, I know temperature, well, also ritual gets your brain into a certain like frequency, right? Like a certain, when you're doing something
Like brain
ritualistically,
state.
it puts you in a
I know
certain
what you're saying.
pattern, right? Like a
Yeah.
certain, pattern,
And then you
as
rinse and
well
repeat
as,
and get back into it.
yeah, and temperature, like putting water in certain areas, cold water, would regulate your nervous system. Because I know, like when I had supraventricular tachycardia, SVT, if you wash your hands in really cold water or your face or put cold water on your body, that resets your heart rate essentially, or has the best chance to. So I'm just thinking about
Oh,
certain medical reasons for doing rituals like that that would put you into a certain state ready for your nervous system to receive and to send out a signal and then to receive a signal back.
that's
That's what I was
interesting.
thinking
I'm gonna
about.
try that. I always use warm water. Like I'll let the water get warm because you got to get
Mm,
everywhere all wet. But I do take cold showers in the morning. Like, if I'm feeling horrible, I can blast myself with cold water, and it usually works for
mhm.
like a couple hours.
The cold shock protein kind of gets you going, and
It sucks.
yeah,
It
I
is
know. It's
brutal.
like, yeah,
I hate it because it's always when you're waking up too. You don't get to like feel ready for it. You're just like, oh,
I know.
it's like
So I
torture.
don't really do it. I kind of like the hot showers.
I
I guess when
only
you
I only do them
have,
if I need to.
I guess a dysregulated nervous system, if you're under a lot of stress, like you kind of crave that hug feeling from a warm shower. So a lot of people kind of gravitate towards doing that. But I know cold showers definitely are like really valuable.
No, like yeah, if I take a bath, like I love taking warm baths. I always come out feeling like kind of weird and dizzy. I still do it all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's hard not to. When I can't sleep sometimes I'll take a bath and I'll like come out of the bath like I'm like I feel like shit and I'll immediately go to bed. It
Mm.
works so well.
See, I have an ADA apartment, but it's still not set up for like uh, showers or baths, probably for handicapped people. So I haven't taken a bath in a while, but it does sound like really nice, especially for your
I like
muscles
baths
and
a lot.
stuff. Yeah.
I like I noticed like well my doctor says I'm autistic, so this might be why, but I really like the feeling of being hugged. So like I like to wear jackets if I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like in a social setting, and it's like a hug, or the bath is like that too, dude. It's like my whole body's being hugged by like warm water, and it's the nicest thing ever.
exactly. Yeah.
Like I love it. That feeling of something squeezing you is like very there's something like super comforting about that for some reason.
There's so much loneliness nowadays. I'm surprised there isn't like, I've been thinking about this for a while, like a service where you can just hire someone to come hug you, like
I
just
think that
actual human
exists.
content. Does it really?
Yeah,
Like
I'm afraid to
Uber
Google it
hug
'cause
or
they're gonna start giving me ads for it. I'll go in incognito. No, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna start getting
okay.
ads for like it's gonna look weird when someone sees my phone. Like,
Yeah.
bro, what have you been Googling? Like,
But I mean, I think that is such a, like we're more connected than ever, but I'm sure you've heard about biofields and how when we're with another person in person and not over Zoom or something or on our phones, like your biofields interact with each other and exchange information and stuff. I think we just need more physical contact and more harmony. I have a quote I wrote a long time ago that's you cannot have prolonged peace without harmony. And, you know, we don't love our neighbors. If we loved our neighbors, like again, Jesus Christ spoke about, we would have more harmony and we would have more prolonged peace. But instead, every aspect of our society is put into sports teams and political teams and division, and it hits us in every angle. Even with the shows we watch, there's so many different shows, which is good to have a variety, but like no one has a cohesive reality anymore. We're all in our own kind of thing, and
yeah,
we
that's a
are
really good point.
we're
I
all
didn't even think about
disconnected
that.
from a harmonious reality. It's
I still have that theory of consciousness leaving your brain too and interacting with others. And I wonder if there's consequences to not being around people like that.
yeah. I mean, I know for me, like I've been isolated most of my life, so it's not fun. It's you learn a lot. Like it gives you a lot of clarity, right? Like any spiritual person, like Christ had the 40 days in the desert and all that stuff, and it teaches you who you truly are. But
Yeah, there's always a big
past a certain
isolation factor.
past a certain point, it starts to be detrimental, I think. And there's a lot of people that are just accustomed to, and I used to be a gamer too. I still game sometimes, but a lot of gamer
Oh, dude, we should
cultures.
play games.
Oh yeah, we totally should. I think we talked about it last time. We should. Um, it's just like you play over online, but there's not a lot of like in person meetups anymore, and there's not a lot of places you can really meet people. Like Starbucks is, I guess, in the '90s and 2000s would have furniture and stuff, and you can go meet people and hang out. It's not really as common anymore. It's more everything's fast paced and even fast food. Oh, that's another thing about fast food. You see how they're like, putting people in the fast
It's
food.
slop. It's straight up goy slop.
It's goy
I've
slop,
been
bro.
telling people not to eat that shit for so long. I still eat it sometimes, like on a road trip. I'll be
There's definitely
smarter.
people in
I'll
there.
pack a granola bar next time instead.
Yeah, it's so gross, bro. Something I've been
Even if
saying for
there's
the
not
past couple of
people in
years,
it,
something's up. Like it feels like there's extra poison or extra human meat in there because it does not taste like food anymore. Things don't taste like food.
oh,
I've been heavily
the
considering going vegan or not vegan, but like vegetarian or something because it's not. Something's
there's
wrong.
tons of leniency on the FDA laws for like food and stuff. I was watching a video comparing like different candies to how they were like 5 years ago.
Uh,
And like the whole ingredients list is different. Like Reese's suck now. All these like candies are different. Um, like the rules loosened, which is horrible. And
well,
like
Trump
there's
even
an
loosened it more. He
acceptable amount of
allowed.
cockroaches in our coffee and stuff. It's like, dog, they're not
I
trying
know.
at all. I don't drink coffee anymore because I learned that. I'm like, I've probably drank like 40 cockroaches. I gag when I see those normally. I don't want to think about
That's
drinking
a
one
real thing. It's
every day
really
when I have.
cockroaches in coffee.
Yeah. And there's an
I didn't see
acceptable
that
amount
one.
of cockroaches.
I
There's an
drink coffee
acceptable
constantly.
level.
That's great. Fucking great,
I
man.
used to drink a pot of coffee a day. I've not
Yeah.
touched it in so long. I broke my hand and I was like, I'm never touching coffee again. Like especially because caffeine messes up bone healing. And I'd like still drink
Really?
coffee sometimes. And now I'm like, dude, I will make it through anything tired. Like I hate cockroaches. They disgust me.
What you should try is the Neuromints. Have you had those?
What is it? Or
The
neurogum?
yeah, Neuromints and Neurogum.
Yeah. Yeah, I had NeuroGum at a health conference. It was awesome.
I highly
That shit
recommend it.
was sick.
There's
It
something
was
in there,
really
I think, for
nice.
neurodivergent people that like gets us going. Like it just, I feel 1,000 times better after I have some. Highly
I think I'll
recommend.
buy some. My energy was like really good that day too.
Yeah.
Our booth was like packed and our competitor was empty. It was the first time it happened, and I swear it was just the energy. We were like, I don't know. I felt
Yeah, I
like there
saw.
was
Is
a
that the
light bulb
time you went
inside of
up
me.
to the guy from Shark Tank? What's his name?
Yeah, yeah, that was the same day. That guy
Same
was
day.
such a
Nice.
dick, dude. I
Yeah, tell me
expected
that
it to
story.
go
What
that way.
happened? Tell everyone
So
listening.
we're at this health conference showing off SeptaSync, and people are just listening to it in chairs, and we're like covering their eyes with the towel. A real gung ho, like, just getting people to try it in a noisy room. And one of my business partners like taps me on the shoulder and he's like, Ethan, that's the guy from Shark Tank. And I like looked over and I didn't even acknowledge my business partner. I just walked straight up to him. It was like a moth to a light. Because
Mm.
I understand, like, if you get scared, if you let yourself be scared, you're never going to get something done. Like, I used to work
Mm.
in sales. I'd get 5 seconds of phone call anxiety before I dialed. I wouldn't make the call. Get out of here. Um, so I knew in my heart, like, just walk straight up to the guy and interrupt him. So I walked up and interrupted him, and he's looking at me like, dude, are you fucking serious? And if I didn't walk up, I wouldn't have talked to him. Like, it's a lost, answer's
Mm.
always no if you don't ask. So I just kind of sit there and I'm like waiting for an opening, and he just totally ignored me, like looked at me like, are you kidding me, bro? And then just kept talking to his buddy. I waited like 5 seconds and I was like, screw this. And I was like, Damon. And I just started talking to him. And he was like, okay, kid, who are you? It's literally a cat highway. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, kid, who are you? And I tell him, like, I'm 25. I'm an entrepreneur. I have this business. And he's like, what's your business? And one of the ladies at the booth that he's talking to is like, you should really talk to this kid. We all watched him like start from a cardboard sign this year. And he's the
Mm.
most popular booth on this side of the conference. Like, you should talk to him. Like trying to help me out. And his response to that is, okay, Ethan, do you know what I hate the most in life? And I go, what do you hate the most in life, Damon? He goes, 25-year-old entrepreneurs. And I was like, I just started laughing. Like how when we're talking about
Yeah.
the Epstein stuff, I start laughing. It's like an awkward response or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just start chuckling and I'm like, I know you came from somewhere. Like, don't give me that. And he was like, all right, take me to your booth. And I was like, oh shit. Hell yeah, he's gonna try it. I got all excited for a sec.
Uh,
I walk him to the booth and he's like, all right, it's time for me to leave. And I was like, Doc, you're kidding me.
what
And
a
I was like, will you
dick.
try it? And he's like, no, I'm not going to try it. And he was like, give me your marketing materials and I'll give you love on social media. And I was like, no, you're not, dude. And I like gave him business cards and pamphlets. I knew he wouldn't post it. You know what he posted? This guy's bald and he's talking about on a video, I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. What fucking
Wow.
hair, bro? Like I was that pissed me off more than his behavior. I was like, dude, you don't have like what?
Do they all
It
seem
didn't
like fucking
compute.
dicks on that show? I can't believe I even ever used to watch it. It's just it's all fake anyways. Like it's all a performance. You see the guy from Squatty Potty is a pedophile who was on Shark
Yeah,
Tank? Yeah, he's
yeah, it's crazy, and that stuff is totally staged. Yeah, Shark Tank is it's definitely interesting, and I think if they wanted to invest in me, I'm probably doing something wrong. So I kind
right.
of took it as a win. Like those guys miss all the time. Like Neurogum,
Right,
they miss
exactly.
all the time. So when he was like, I don't even care about this, I was like, dude, let's fucking go. Like that's a good sign for me. And he was trying some dumb technology. I don't want to say this because I'll probably see these people again, but he was
Yeah.
trying something I find has no base in science at all. And he was like, was like, this is the shit. Like, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. The scientific business guy is like chasing snake oil, in my opinion.
Well, that's because that's who they all are. They're all fucking frauds on some
Yeah,
level.
that's
Like
a
they're
fair
all
point.
at that level. Like, they all got to sell out to something at that point. Like I don't trust any of those fuckers, especially Kevin O'Leary. Like that guy is
Yeah, dude.
fucking
What do they
evil.
call Mr. Wonderful?
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like that. I
Well,
feel like
he's like really
I know,
supporting
man.
Trump and everything he's doing right now, and like they're
I have to
all
stop myself.
just
I've said like five things, or almost said five things that could get me like sued for defamation or something. I hate that
Yeah.
guy though. I think he does questionable things behind doors.
Damon.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just I feel it out.
He's part of the Epstein class. I mean, probably.
I wonder if any of those guys were in the files.
You could look later.
Yeah, I'll look
Maybe.
later.
I'm sure they will. Um. So yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about with SeptaSync?
No, I think we've got a good chunk of
You had a good time.
content here. I
Okay.
just need the Clippers will post like very short videos. So I just need a
Cool.
couple like 30-second sections.
So I was
I'm
going to
excited
ask
to see
you.
the clip.
Okay. Um. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you this. Uh. So yeah, SeptaSync came to you in a dream. Have you had any other new profound dreams come to you since then,
No,
or while using
no,
SeptaSync?
I don't dream that much, which is probably why I listen to SeptaSync so much. If I dream, it's always really like weird. Like
Hmm.
SeptaSync dream was a big outlier. I've had dreams I was getting chased by like sentient hamburgers and stuff. Like
Really?
yeah, that actually I woke up like covered in sweat from that. I was
What
in
the
like the
fuck?
Grand Canyon or something, and it was like I saw like a wave in the distance, and it was like fucking hamburgers with faces,
Do you
and
think that's
it
like
freaked me
actually
out in my
happening right
dream.
now? Like, do you think that's like a real thing going on in
What
other like
hamburgers?
somewhere in the multiverse?
Oh fuck, I don't know. That'd be hilarious though. But no, that dream scared the fuck out of me, dude. Like I woke up and my heart was like beating out of my chest, and I like woke up like chuckling. I was like, "What the hell?" But I was also like, my body was like heavily reacting to it.
Were they like
Um,
animated hamburgers, or were they like a real human
no,
face
yeah, they
on the
were
hamburger?
like cartoony. There's a burger joint with like a hamburger guy next to my friend's house, and I see it all the time, and I know that's where it came from.
Oh, okay.
It's just a weird, like, it was weird. But yeah, my dreams are normally like I have like fever dreams casually.
Uh huh. Interesting.
Eh,
It's interesting that the one that snuck through though, Septisync. Oh, yeah, because you said you saw like in that dream that you like won an award for it too after, and like
Yeah, I
you
was
saw the whole
standing in
kind of
front of a
arc of
ton
it.
of I was like standing on a stage and like the audience was like wearing like lab coats and like the goggles and stuff. I think that was my brain just trying to tell me like this is related to science.
Hmm.
Um, and I just started talking about how I made it and like how the structure of it worked. And it wasn't complete information, of course, because I still needed like 2 weeks to make it and fix all the missing things and, polish it. But I would say like 70% of how Septasync works was like in my dream, and I was just talking about it in my dream. I was just winning an award, like talking about I changed part of the brain, I changed the way people look at this. Here's how I did it, and it was really neat. Like
Are
I
you
woke up
part?
knowing that was important, and I'd also like for context, I had just crashed and burned a business I was working on. I didn't crash and burn it, but it crashed and burned like so hard it hurt everyone at this like the level of their soul.
Hmm.
And then a few weeks later, I have this dream that I like achieved something hugely successful. So I woke up like wanting to chase that feeling. And I noticed I'm like, I had a weird dream. It feels real. I want to feel what I just felt again in my dream. And that was enough for me to like just give it a shot. I think if I hadn't failed that business, I would have just been like, oh, that was a funny dream and moved on.
Right. Do you think that like because this was his seventh business, right? You told me last time, and
Mhm.
it turned out to be seven frequencies, septa for seven.
Oh, I didn't even put that
Right.
together. I don't think
Oh,
that's
you
neat.
really didn't? I thought we talked about it.
That's oh, my brain, man.
Oh, you forget? I was just saying that's the synchronicity. So yeah, you were probably like meant to make this. And going
Yeah, that's
forward, I
so
think,
neat.
I mean, we all know that like frequencies and all that stuff is the future. Like that is the reality that we're all going to be working with. So it's probably like going to be something probably more wild and important than you imagine. What if what's like the, I was going to ask you this too. How many users do you have so far? And what kind of impact have you
I
had
think
so
we're up
far?
to like 14,000.
That's pretty good, man. How
No,
old are you now?
it's going well. A year old today.
Today?
Today's a year old
Really?
today. Yeah, isn't that
Oh, it
neat?
just happened to be today. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
my patent
crazy.
lawyer called me and said we're finalizing the submission because when you submit a patent, you get 1 year to edit it, change it, add anything new that you discover. And today is submission day. So 1 year ago
Wow.
today, my patent got submitted originally, and that's where I started sales.
See, that's another synchronicity. Like we were gonna do it
That's
last week.
crazy.
You got sick, and then yesterday I wasn't feeling well, and it got moved today. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
man.
that's
That shit always
hilarious.
lines up. Yeah.
There is more to this world than we can see. I'm a firm believer.
100%. Like with me in my life, like I said, I should have died every single one of those times. Even if I wanted to, there's something that's like making me stay here. I don't know. So I know. I remember when I was 3 years old, I had like a voice very clearly say like, "You're here for an important mission. Protect the innocent, amplify the good." That's like the two things I remember from being three. It's like a really vivid memory, those two sentences. Protect the innocent and amplify the good. And so now like I have people on and I am like very autistic about the truth. So I get that part. Like, and I try to have people on who are doing good things in the world and I try to amplify it. Protect the innocent though. I'm wondering, I try my best to do that, but all my life I used to pray like, use me, let me go help people. Like when I saw like the war happening in Ukraine and all that stuff a couple of years ago, I used to pray like I feel like I should be there protecting people. Like there's part of me felt like your cat sensing time about spirituality. Part of me just felt like I was letting people down. I felt like I should be going and protecting people. I don't know. So maybe that's in my future here soon, and looks like we're all gonna need it shortly. I don't know. Maybe I'll get superpowers.
100%. Well, keep in mind too, like protect the innocent could, like I am a firm believer that the nastiest weapon humans have ever been given is their tongue. Like our words can cut deeper than anything else can. You could
Yeah,
shoot someone and they'll recover from it. If you hit them with the right insult, they'll think about that when their head hits the pillow for the rest of their life. Maybe you protect in a different way. They say you lose one sense and another becomes better. Like you're a good talker.
thank you. Today I feel off. Have I been off today? Been saying like a lot, and
No,
I
but
feel
I
like
felt that way too. I know I'm probably seeming normal, but I felt weird like the last few days with the war and
yeah.
everything. It's scary stuff.
It's like
This is like my
really.
grandpa.
I feel scrambled, dude. Like I feel negative and scrambled and just not myself. And that's not good that you feel that way too, but it's good to know that like it's not just me. I know my
No, this is the
neighbor
stuff my
who's kind of
grandpa
spiritual
talked about
too.
when I
He
was a
feels that.
kid.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry to interrupt. No, he would just say like, when you see things like this happening, it's like really bad. So I always remember the stuff he told me as a kid, and I'm like, damn it, dude, like. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please, continue.
I was just saying, I know some neighbors of mine in my apartment are kind of spiritual too, and they feel the same kind of thing. So I think we're just more tapped into the energetic field of what's going on, and we can, when people are hurting in masses, like I think it genuinely affects us. And
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that people don't feel that.
I know people are
Like,
just going like, "Oh, can you believe what's going on with this fucking basketball game or football game?" I'm like, who fucking gives a shit? Do you understand? Like, I couldn't imagine like people are caring about Bad Bunny versus Kid Rock, that whole thing and the Super Bowl. And I'm like, you understand that every aspect of your life has been a lie. It's no longer a conspiracy. It's proven, and that you're supporting them with not paying attention and not caring about what's going on. You're giving them consent, and also like you're giving them the money to do all this evil through your taxes. You have no representation. They're actively poisoning you, raping and eating people and children, and you don't give a shit. And they're surveilling everything you do on a daily basis. And you care about people throwing a ball back and forth, scoring a touchdown. I'm like that bummed me out more than anything. Is that this all happened and got released? The truth is out there, and a lot of people don't care at all. And they get mad at you for bringing it up. They get mad at you for speaking the truth. That's what pisses
It's
me off.
it's crazy. I was just going to make an argument against people being inherently evil, but what you said made me rethink it and like change my mind. Like I was saying, I can't imagine somebody not waking up and feeling like shit when things like this are happening. Um, so is it their fault if they don't feel it? But now that I think about it, how can you hear about this stuff and not have a reaction to it? Like that's a fundamental problem in like the brain.
They're
Like
willfully ignorant. Really, it comes down to cowardice. I realized I'm
that's
just
not even
surrounded by,
ignorance though. It's worse than that.
well, it's willful ignorance. It's cowardice. They don't want the responsibility
Yeah,
that
that's a
comes
really good
with,
word for it.
yeah, they don't want the responsibility of recognizing the truth. That's why most people hate people who tell the truth. Like, what's that one quote? Is it Immanuel Kant or whatever? He's like, no one's hated more than the man who speaks the truth. Or I'm more like, if the truth shall kill them, let them die. I like that quote the best. Like, if the government is all full of, like, who said it? Pam Bondi said, like, if we persecute everyone in the Epstein Files, our entire government will collapse. Then it should fucking collapse. What are you talking
We
about?
can start over. The only issue is good people never have like a they'll never want to be in power.
Yeah, exactly. We don't
Like
want
you
to
could not pay
control
me to go into
other
power.
people. Yeah, I
I
don't
get
want to
afraid
do
of
that
being
stuff,
corrupted or
right?
turning evil. I don't want to
Well, see,
turn evil.
I don't think absolute power corrupts absolutely. I just think the people that want to control other people are searching out those positions so that power corrupts them because they were already corrupted. It amplifies what's already inside. Same with money. Money isn't the root of all evil. It just amplifies what's already inside. And most billionaires are willing and happy to step on people and hurt people to get what they want, which is more power. And they're all narcissists, which is the spirit of evil. Like that's the problem. It's who's attracted to being in that position. So yeah, we do need more
Yeah.
people who are good, who are wealthy, doing the right thing. And I guess yeah, a way to protect the innocent is like, speaking the truth and letting people, whoever the truth kills or the truth being revealed, like yeah, they should die. Like these people
You could
harming
just
innocent
full
people
send
should
like
die.
hot takes. You'd probably blow up on the internet like just unfilter yourself and just tell people how it is.
I should. I'm at that point. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit. I say the truth, even to like family members. Everyone hates me already because I don't. I'll say anything that's true. Like people that want to dress stuff in the family, I'll say it. I don't care. They already hate me my whole
You
life.
let it
Like
air
fuck
out.
them.
I mean, if they're not even good people, if they can't care about their fellow human, what's the worth in letting them be around
They
you
didn't
and
care
or
about me
giving
when I was
them
fucking
energy?
dying over and over again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, no shit. Now I get it. Like you don't like, I think empaths just want to believe in the best of people, and we project our goodness onto other people. And after 28 years, I've realized, oh, that's me giving you way too much grace and love for something that you're not going to reflect back at me or anyone else. You have a void within you that you're just consuming nonstop, and you're never going to fill that void because you don't take the time to sit by yourself, confront your demons, and heal yourself. So it's just an endless void of, you know, receiving shit and consuming shit.
Dude,
I think
I didn't realize how long
narcissism.
we've been going. It got dark outside.
Wow, yeah, it's 2 hours. Yeah,
I
we should
know, I
probably
just looked
wrap
to
it
the
up here.
right and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even see in here.
Um, yeah,
No,
I
you're
just have,
completely right about that though. Narcissism is like a disease on humanity, I think. One of
and they
my
really
old friends
normalized
was
it for everyone in the system. Like they made capitalism normalizes being a narcissist. So
being a
they,
narcissist. Yeah.
yeah, they turned everyone into a smaller version of what they are essentially. And I mean, think about it. They're capitalism. You're forcing. It's a system that capitalizes on survival and people's needs. Like that's evil. Capitalizing on survival, on food, on water, on basic human rights, on what you need to survive. Like homelessness shouldn't exist. It doesn't make sense to me. Paying for food and water and shelter, it just doesn't make sense. It's all
It's
free.
almost
Who
like
gives
if
them
we
the
didn't
right to
give
own it?
Yeah, if we didn't give Israel all of our taxes, we'd have more than enough money to have roads without potholes, clean water for everybody. Like the people in Flint, Michigan
Yeah,
still have dirty water, homeless, actually helping our vets and drug addicts.
yeah,
As much as I don't agree with what the government does, like we got to take care of our vets. Those guys didn't know and usually come back like the biggest conspiracy theories you'll ever meet, or conspiracy
100%.
theorists you'll ever meet. And the
I,
smartest thing the U.S. government did for the economy was learn that it's cheaper to glorify them than it is to help them, and that's like so fucking horrible that that's the case.
yeah, exactly. It's
It's
all
crazy.
inverted. They'll glorify them and say, "Oh, you get a gold star. Good job." Okay, well, where's like my support? I'm all
Hey,
fucked up.
yeah, like hey,
Too
bro, my
bad. Go out in
leg
the
got
street.
blown off.
Yeah,
Like,
go.
dude, you're so right with that inversion thing. You've said that quite a few times, and yeah,
Every
I can't think
aspect
of a
of our
situation where
reality,
something's not inverted.
literally, you'll notice it everywhere. Even in movies, everything is inverted. You look at Avengers Endgame. Think about that with Project Looking Glass, right? How Doctor Strange looked through 14 million timelines at least. Same with Project Looking Glass, right? Every timeline they lose, except for one they're trying to do. Same with Doctor Strange, except Thanos won every time. What was Thanos trying to do? Trying to eliminate half of the universe, which would probably be all of them, getting rid of all the parasites, but instead they made it the heroes. Like I would always notice they made people with the right philosophies the villains and have them do acts of evil to discredit the right philosophy. Same with the Joker, right? Batman has the resources to cure all the root problems in Gotham, but he doesn't. Instead, he's hunting lower level criminals and the Joker and stuff. The Joker had truth, right? He's like, listen, the city is fucked up. The system is fucked up. It's full of corruption. I'm going to show you all the different forms of corruption that exist here. And he proved it through Harvey Dent, and everyone was corrupted. All the systems were corrupted. But he did acts of evil, like extreme evil, and that corrupted his philosophical view about how the system is inherently evil. It's working as intended. It's literally every movie. It's all inverted, and then the truth is discredited with acts of evil.
On a side note, Batman is by far the scariest superhero. Like if I was like selling someone weed and came like Batman, dude, I'd piss myself. Because like other superheroes will like fucking arrest you or something. Batman's like, you just sold that guy a dime bag. Like I'm gonna make you breathe out of a tube for the rest of your life. Like it's like fuck, dude. I always think about that. Like
I
he's
know.
like, I won't kill people, and he's like, I'll just fucking just like he does crazy shit on them.
It's kind
Like
of
pile
like,
drive with the knee thing.
yeah, you ever see that episode of Rick and Morty where it's like, he baned me, Morty, he baned me, where he snapped his back.
Is that from the new season?
I think it's season 6 or 7.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen that one. I watched until there was like a big baby in the sky or something.
The
I
incest
stopped
baby.
watching around there. Yeah,
Okay.
yes, and it was in
Yeah.
space, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was where I stopped, but I should probably pick it up. I might watch that tonight.
It kind of fell off after they fired the creator, Justin Roiland, in season 7 or 8, but it's still good. It's still fun. So
Is he
yeah, I
still
have,
gone?
yeah, I think
Oh,
he's
go ahead.
permanently gone.
Damn, I wonder what
Uh,
he did.
I just have shit. We already covered most of this stuff. It's just funny the stuff I have written down, like Epstein Files, cannibalism, World War III, Second Coming of Christ. That's all on the docket for what we're going through. And like I have written down here, Pete Hegseth telling troops Trump was anointed by God to start a war with Iran, begin the Battle of Armageddon to mark the return of Jesus Christ. Have you seen that from yesterday? Yeah, I mean that's
Fucking ridiculous. The guy was saying there's no way I'm making it to heaven last month or 2 months
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Dude, you
Trump.
gotta. I'll buy you a Quran, or I'll send you footnotes or something. Actually, you probably don't need to read the whole book, but dude, it is insane. The stuff that it talks about is what's happening. Like it is ridiculous how on spot it is with that stuff. Like
I
talking about
bet.
the
I
whole
mean,
Trump thing, and there's
have you
there's
ever heard
verses.
have you ever heard the song "Crack in the World" by Sammy Hagar?
No,
Write that down and listen to that after this podcast. It's about everything that's been going on now too. Sammy Hagar from Van Halen got abducted by aliens in like the 60s. You're gonna love it. You should listen. Look up the story too. And they told him all the shit that's gonna happen in 2025 and 2026. And the song was 19. I think he recorded it in 1975, and it came out in 1976. And he sings about the year 2025 is the start of the Great Divide, or there'll be two sets of people.
I'm reading the lyrics right now.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a crack in the world.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There's look for the subtle clues that won't make the front page news. That
Depending
depends
on
on what
which side
you
that you choose, which I've noticed heavily. All the people like in my family, they don't pay attention to any of this stuff, and they are all aligned. Like their vibe, like I can feel their energy. I'm sensitive to energy. Their vibe, just their demeanor, who they are, aligns far more with Jeffrey Epstein than with like Christ or even normal empathy. I just see the divide so clearly now that people have like chosen a side. And I think like I don't believe everything Dolores Cannon says, who did all the past life regression shit and all the spiritual whatever under hypnosis, saying the new earth is going to form. And the Hopi prophecy, same thing, right? The new earth is going to, there's like a split in timelines or whatever.
Oh,
But
yeah, I remember the Hopis. They're talking about the guy wearing the red hat.
I don't know about that part.
And then talks about aliens.
Oh, right. Yes. And that could have been the mega hat and all the. Yeah. I just know this is definitely a time that no matter what, there is like a real split, a real event that's happening. And whether they fake an alien invasion, do Project Bluebeam or whatever, they can't stop the real event from happening. They may try and deceive people for a little bit, but I don't think it's going to work. I just definitely know we are in, like, it's very possible, like, Christ will, like, Jesus, the real person, may come back. I'm more of the opinion that we will all achieve enlightenment or Christ consciousness. I think we're all ascending into that, like, energetic state. And that's what we were experiencing,
Honestly,
being so tired all the time. And
as long as people love each other more, like, I will be so happy with whatever the outcome is. Hi, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that, I just have a feeling that this world has been unharmonized and unbalanced on purpose, and that the one true God is finally making a correction or something. But the best I could just come up with that I haven't heard anyone speak about, according to like Gnosticism, is that like, or not even that, just in general, my philosophy is the one true God didn't get involved in earth and earth stuff heavily because he didn't create it. Some fallen entity created it that's wasn't created by God. Like if you know about Sophia falling out of the Pleroma or whatever. Yeah, Yaldabaoth, yeah. So this
I did a
realm,
video
whatever.
on that whole story a while
you did?
back. I did a whole theology series. It's when I was learning about it myself, so it's just seeing what resonated with me the most.
So yeah,
It's
so
very
you know
interesting.
then like, I think this is because this is a false world, an inverted world. God viewed it as not his domain. I'm just saying energy, the infinite energy source of what we would call God, the one true God. Because it's a false world, he didn't get heavily involved. And if some of our souls got stuck here, it's no big deal because it will eventually return, or we're just a part of that infinite energy source. So it's like, losing a pinky toe or something. It's not a big deal, and he'll fix it eventually. That's the best philosophical reason I think that it's been so fucked up for so long.
Is it the kind of theology it's been so long where like you have to choose right or you don't make it out?
It's more of like, well, that's my view. That's not Gnosticism. That's just me adding on to that thing. But yeah, Gnosticism is like, you basically are trapped in the matrix and you have to awaken to your own sovereign power within. And when you die, that you don't get sucked into that light trap where you see your friends and family and do the life review. And they, it's a projection of your friends and family and loved ones and that loving feeling, but it's all fake. It's there to trap you and then erase your memory and force you to reincarnate on Earth, or at the very least convince you to reincarnate on Earth willingly. Because, oh, you didn't do well on this. You did really good here. You helped someone out here, but you were pretty mean to this person. So you're going to go back and learn the lesson of empathy in this way, this manner, because your soul needs to evolve. So it's tricking you over and over again to stay here, to feed off of your energy like a farm, which I've just noticed that is true. Like, I think there's far too much pain and suffering for this to be a school, or at least a school anymore. I think it's a farm. And I just see how most people are cattle. Like, you look at all the fast food and all the treats and all the entertainment and distractions, anything to keep you from looking within, literally anything. Even, meditation and stuff has all been co-opted by people like Deepak Chopra, who would say things like in the Epstein Files, God is a construct, cute little girls are real. You see that one?
No, what's the person's name? I want to Google them.
Deepak Chopra. He said to Jeffrey Epstein, God is a construct, cute girls are real. And he has a whole bunch of shit. He was talking to Jeffrey Epstein for years and years, saying just fucked up shit. All these spiritual gurus and stuff, they're all into it too. It's all co-opted.
This shit is snake oil, the poet prophet of alternative medicine.
Deepak Chopra? Is that what they call him?
Yeah, that's what they call him.
He's been very popular for a long time. You've heard of him, right?
No, I mean I'm reading about him right now. I don't know how I haven't heard of this guy. He looks
He's like best
evil.
friends with Oprah, and I know I always got a terrible vibe from him. Always, I never trusted him, but big leader in the spiritual community and all that stuff. It's all been fucked. They give you half truths and then they lead you off the path, right? That's their job, controlled opposition. Like, let's say, Joe Rogan may be controlled opposition. That was a hard one for me to admit, but I think he might be. They say a lot of truths.
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah.
I mean, it's easy. Just if they get weird when someone says the word Israel, they've been bought and paid for. It's so simple and easy to.
Or they're cowards.
Nowadays.
That's true too. I mean, there's just a lot of
some
cowards.
people just would rather get their paycheck.
Well, the thing I realized about Joe Rogan is like, look, I'm a comedian. I looked up to Joe in many different ways. He's doing podcasting, which I always wanted to do and was doing. He's a comedian, just like me, and all that stuff. I looked up to him in a lot of ways. It was a hard one to realize, but I also realized, like, when you talk about a lot of the symbolism, they rub it in people's faces. I realized the first show Joe Rogan was on was a show called News Radio, where he played. Have you seen this? News Radio. He played so it was basically about a news station, right? A radio station. And he was like the wacky janitor who was all into conspiracy theories nonstop. He was the comedy relief conspiracy theorist. And every now and then he'd hop on the radio, like a podcast, and talk about conspiracy theories. That was his whole thing. And then that's what he became in real life. And between that, he worked on Fear Factor, which is all about harvesting people's fear. It's the same kind of shit. I just put all that together. Like, they always set people up kind of like synchronicities, except planned synchronicities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so interesting. The stuff in The Simpsons, too. You had me thinking about that.
Yeah, Matt Groening, exactly, right? Predictive programming.
All over the files.
That's what I'm trying to say. Joe Rogan being on news radio is basically predictive programming. And then I saw, he's best friends with Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and all of that Epstein class group, Mark Andreessen or whatever. All of them doesn't ask them the hard questions like I would. Even if I was friends with him, even if it was you on the Epstein's list, right? And I'm talking to you, I would ask you the hard questions if you were my friend. Be like, hey, what the fuck is up with this? Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I don't watch him anymore. I'm just ashamed of him. I'm ashamed that I got, I'm not ashamed I didn't get duped by him. I just had empathy and thought a person wouldn't do that. Same with, Joe Rogan happened to be best friends with Alex Jones because they met each other at a bar 30 years ago. They just happened to know each other, right? And become best friends. And They
That's
both became
yeah.
extremely popular figures separately. You know, that's
That's odd. That is super odd. Dude, I'm looking at Deepak Chopra's books we were talking about earlier. This guy looks like a snake oil person. Like reading
yeah,
the names, literally they're saying different things. One of them's like abundance, the inner path to wealth. The next one is how to meet God. Or the third Jesus. It's like
yeah.
that's got to be snake oil. Come on, buddy.
You have to understand, like he's huge. Like he was a huge figure and still is.
Yeah,
So him
that's
going
crazy.
down recently is a big one for that shit. I never bought into it, but I mean, literally, he said to Jeffrey Epstein, the fucking most prolific pedophile in the world right now, God is a construct, cute girls are real. That's what one of these spiritual leaders is talking about. So everyone's life is just, anyone who's into that is a lie. Like they get you when you're early on, like they set traps for people having their spiritual awakening. They set traps, they get you in with some truth, and then when it's time, they set you off course to get you into a new narrative. And I think that's what the government's doing right now is like with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. You know, Tucker Carlson's dad was in the CIA. His son is working for JD Vance. You know, it's so obvious. It's like,
Man, is when will this be suspicious about me? I'm shocked no one's made a video like the fucking Septasync kid's grandpa was a.
oh, right, that's true. He
Yeah,
was telling me, yeah,
but I've been open about that for like years though, so I hope that makes
yeah.
it less bad sounding. But yeah, I'm surprised I've never gotten flack for that. Like I've been
What
shocked
didn't
for
you
like 2 years.
didn't you get banned off Reddit or something?
Yeah, but that was from the Hemi-Sync people.
Oh yeah, so yeah, what
They like
happened with that? They got angry?
oh dude, if you go into the Hemi-Sync subreddit and type in the word SeptaSync, it will not let you. Like it will not
I
let a
remember
post
seeing
go
that,
up
yeah.
with my name or with SeptaSync. Any other competitors okay. But we're the new kids on the block and we started disrupting them, so I see why they did it.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I'd probably do it too, but definitely hurts. And if you Google Septasync, one of the first things is their subreddit, their people saying that they don't trust it because there's no affirmations of self-protection. And it's
Huh.
like, dog, are you fucking kidding me? This is science. This is not. I'm not taking people to woo-woo land. I'm all about woo-woo land, but
Right. Yours is
crazy
more
reason.
about yours is more about like focusing on practical effects of like sleep and being
Yeah, I want to
calm
see
and
this in the medical world. I believe in
yeah.
the spiritual side of it, and I believe in the medical side. There's no validation on either. Maybe I can bring one.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yours is more you're going for the more quantitative, like measurable results, which Robert Monroe tried to do with having that repeated out of body experience and stuff. But I tried him. I never got it. Did you ever have it out of OBE, as they call him?
I mean, I don't ever know if it's like an OBE or a dream, but I've had some weird shit happen while I was listening to Hemi-Sync. Like one of the times my bed started like vibrating like crazy, or it felt like that, and it wasn't. I had to like take off the headphones and check. And I kept listening. I put the headphones back in,
So yeah, do you
and
have?
like,
See, I was when I listen to yours and the Gateway tapes, I use these. Is that okay, or should I be using over the ear like
no, you're
headphones or
good.
something?
Bluetooth over the ear. What I don't. It doesn't matter. They say it matters with Hemi-Sync, and they've noticed changes on their EEG. I've EEG'd Septasync with 10 different types of headphones. There's no like difference. Even
Okay.
different people, different headphones, it's still wildly consistent for the most part. So I don't think it matters. I don't know why Hemi-Sync, like they tweak about it on their website and stuff. It's like you have to wear these special wired
Mhm.
headphones. It's interesting stuff. What games do you play, by the way? We should definitely
Oh, yeah.
game. I feel like you'd be really funny on the voice chat.
Um, I mostly just play Destiny 2 now, just because it's kind of like brainless. Like it's just kind of like a relaxing thing. But I mean, man, I used to play like literally. I was addicted to video games. I'd play everything. I was like,
They're fun.
they are fun. I mean, I was in GTA. I was a fucking psycho, killing all the NPCs and shit. And now I'm like, I don't know. After my spiritual awakening, I was like, what am I doing? I'm focusing my consciousness on killing innocent people. And like, yeah, I love games like Mortal Kombat doing like the worst fatalities and brutalities. And I'm like, I'm plugging that shit into my mind though. I started having dreams about that kind of stuff, like being in Mortal Kombat. I'm like, I don't know if I want to focus my energy and attention on that anymore. So
Not so much
I,
of it there, yeah.
so that's why I play more games like Destiny, because it's, you're killing aliens and shit. So I'm like, I can do that. I
Yeah, I
kill
play
some
like
reptilians.
Halo. There's a game called Peak, which is really fun. Me and my boys all play it together. You just climb a mountain, but it's like really hard. You'll lose people along the way. You're like, buddy will be next to you, and you just hear him like, oh fuck, oh fall, and you just hear him fall,
Okay.
and you're like, oh shit, bro, Raul's done. Like, no, Peak is fun. I'll message you on Instagram or I'll text you with some game ideas. We should have a game night sometime soon. That'd be very fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I also used to play, I'd stream and play Jackbox and shit like that, or Cards Against Humanity online. I'd just say like the worst shit possible. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get banned. I would say, I mean, the worst shit you could possibly say on stream. I really can't believe I didn't get banned. It's crazy. I kind of
You
miss
should go
those
on Kick.
days
I
a
don't
little
think
bit.
you can get banned on Kick. I gotta go turn on a light, man. I can't
Okay.
see anything anymore.
All right, well, we should probably end it. It's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
dude, that was wonderful.
definitely. Thanks, Ethan, for joining me. And guys, go check out SeptaSync. It's on, you want to plug it where everyone can find it and
Yes,
how they can support you?
septasync.com, SeptaSync in the App Store. We are everywhere. Give
Okay.
it a shot.
And it's SEPTASYNC.
SYNC.
Cool. So yeah, check that out. And if you want to support me, subscribe to the podcast on wherever you're watching me, Spotify, YouTube. Like, comment, all that algorithm shit. And if you want to read my writing, which is kind of where it's where I mostly express my thoughts and stuff. And I also release a podcast through my Substack as well. Check out Reading My Writing with Michael the Chairman. Michael the Chairman. Can't speak today, dude. I'm sorry if this podcast was weird. I've been
No,
out
you're
of it
good.
for the past week.
I feel the same way. I think we're both coming off as very normal.
Okay, good. I feel
You seem
maybe
like
I'm too
totally
self-aware.
normal, bro.
I feel fucking weird, man. I don't know.
No, I know how you feel. I woke up feeling so weird. I was like, man, like I don't want to. Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I've been the same. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Let me know what you think in the comments, and feel free to message me or reach out. I'm always available. And yeah, see you guys in the next episode.